is the Patriots Drive Podcast.
We are all Patriots.
Where we discuss, analyze, and answer questions to all things happening in the NFL and with our New England Patriots. Now, here's your host, Cole Kelly.
Let's go!
Welcome into another edition of the Patriots Drive Podcast. The draft is finally here. All this time waiting, all the mock drafts. Jace has been grinding away, going through all these versions for you guys, and it's finally here. So Titans are officially on the clock. Could be some trades coming. Sounds like the Browns pick might be available, whether that's trading with the Jags or some team for Travis Hunter. Maybe the Patriots are in on that, but exciting day. One of the most exciting times of the year. So I'm here with my co-host, Jace Campbell. How's it going, Jace?
Yeah, freaking excited. Glad it's finally here. You can see we got some new graphics. Cole did a great job of putting together some of this stuff. We got stuff for every team. As you see, we'll rotate on the clock, and then we have a couple special things for when the Patriots do make their picks. But yeah, this is my favorite day of the year. I mean, one of them. I got my big board right here, top 100. I'm ready to talk some prospects, ready to see. And yeah, we're hearing that there's going to be some crazy movements inside the top 10. Denver supposedly has wanted to get up into the top 10. The Browns supposedly are listening to move pick 2. And Dov Cleveland, is that his name on Twitter, just said that if they are to move it, it will not happen until they are on the clock. So, We'll see hopefully here in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Caleb, it is for one of those two guys, Hunter or Carter, if we do move up. Yeah, it sounds like the Jags too, one way or another, are looking to possibly move. They're trying to get creative and make an impact in this draft. I wouldn't think the Browns would trade it until then. I don't think that Dove guy is super reliable typically, but we've had Rappaport, Schefter, Ricky, if you trust him, all these guys talking about the Browns potentially moving that pick. And then Scout D, your favorite page there, posted a GIF of Travis Hunter, and he's a Pats fan. So hopefully we get some good news here soon when the Browns get on the clock.
For sure. And one thing that we do have the audio in here. So I'm going to turn it up to just slightly so we can hear it. And then when picks are made, we'll turn it up. And then, that's going to help a little bit with some of the dead air that can come with probably what's going to be a 3+ maybe 4-hour show tonight. But excited to be hanging out here and stuff. So yeah, lots to talk about. I mean, this could be the Patriots right here. We all know this should be the Patriots picking right now on the clock if they didn't just beat, but we'll save that for another one. We've had our frustration.
Good thing we got that late round pick swap for Joe Milton now. Really got his value up.
Maybe we find the next, great thing down there. Julian Edelman in the 5th round. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
Cole, I'll let you talk about this, and then I'll talk about it because I know I've shared a lot of my thoughts. But how do you feel about Will Campbell,
Mr. T-Rex himself? It would be a fine pick. It wouldn't be anything that I'd be jumping for joy about, but I would understand it. Just his mentality. He's one of the best offensive linemen in the draft. Whether he plays tackle or not, I think they're going to give it a shot, and I think he can hold up. I just don't think when you look at last year and it's Joe Alt in the top 5, and then you go to a guy like Will Campbell, I just think it's different levels. But that's this draft in its entirety. Tet is not the same level as Marvin Harrison or Malik.
Yes, he is.
Or any of these guys. No, he's not.
Okay, you guys keep hating. Prospect fatigue.
So that, in my opinion, but I would be okay with Campbell. I just think it's a big drop off from Hunter and Carter to the next best guy. Yeah. So anything is going to be a disappointment without one of those two. But he's a good player, left tackle probably, and that's one of our biggest needs. And protecting Drake May was not successful last year, and that would certainly add to that equation in a good way.
Yeah, and I have 3 top 5 grades in this class, and how I do my grades, right? Obviously, you could say, well, why don't you have 5 top 5 grades? Because that's how many guys are getting drafted. Well, for me, I go off of, hey, what I would draft in the top 5 in any class, right? Joe Alt was obviously in that last year. Will Campbell, Ashton Genty, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter are going to be top 5 players in almost any class. I think last year was a tough one where it maybe because of the top 3 quarterbacks, they wouldn't have been in there. But I have those guys as blue chip prospects. Now, This is obviously a weaker class at the top. You don't have the quarterback talent, so it makes it look a little less. And then obviously it's been the whole talk of every tackle position. The length just is not there along the tackle. There's a lot of guys that are projecting to kick inside, be better guards, but it's the biggest need for the Patriots. I think he's the best offensive lineman in general. Tackle or guard. I think he's going to have a long career with his mentality, his toughness, his foot speed, his quickness at either tackle or guard. And yeah, some can argue, hey, a guard at pick 4 is not the right move. Yeah, but I also think that it's the biggest need. And if he does work out at tackle because of the mentality, Mike Vrabel and Elliott Wolf have said they view him as a tackle. It could solve a lot of issues for Drake May and this offensive line that they've had the last couple years. So although it might not be the ideal 4th overall pick when you compare it to other classes, we're dealing with the class we're dealing with. And so I think that he kind of has to be.
So we got some potential news here. Browns in heated talks to trade from 2 to 5 with the Jags. They're on the clock soon. I believe this will happen. All right. So, yes, we both would love Carter as well. It just doesn't seem realistic here. I think Travis Hunter is about to be a Jaguar, it seems like, unfortunately. So I wouldn't.
Who tweeted that about the trade? Sorry, I missed it.
Mary Kay Cabot. She's a Cleveland beat writer.
Interesting. The pick is in. Here we go. I'll turn it up so we can hear this. I think we all kind of know where this one's going. But
Cam Ward.
The NFL has to get their TV revenue, so they're not going to let him just turn the pick in. So we'll see this.
Their leader for the future.
30 seconds into the Browns being on the clock, 2nd overall. Again, presumably Travis Hunter is now officially in play. So is the 2nd overall pick in this draft. The Giants waiting word of what the Browns are going to do. Then they choose 3rd overall. In case you're wondering, the last time the Tennessee Titans chose a number 1 overall pick in a draft, stuck and picked at number 1 overall, they were the Houston Oilers back in 1978, and they chose Earl Campbell, who, as we all know, is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. No pressure for whoever we're about to hear. So the commissioners coming on now. The Browns, again, are a minute plus in. Boy, things will begin to get quite interesting. Certainly, if the name's
Cam Ward
here, let's put it that way. But we are
I mean,
Browns just traded the pick to the Jags. Jags are on the clock.
To everybody on the social media teams of the
what's the comp they got for it?
I haven't seen yet.
and that's not to just hand
Jeez.
off that content to another team. Let's be honest. So it's now time for the commissioner of the National Football.
Here we go.
A lot.
With his own
Instead
of 2 wheels, to announce the first pick of this draft.
Come on. With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami.
So the expected.
So I have the compensation if you want to hear
that. Yeah, let's hear it, because I think it's interesting because now what does Cleveland go down for? Are they now legitimately in for Shedeur Sanders, or are they going to go Genty? I mean,
I don't know why.
If they wanted
Hunter too.
Yeah, if they wanted Hunter, you just stick at 2. So yeah, what's the comp?
So the Browns are trading the 2nd overall pick, a fourth rounder, and a 6th round pick to the Jags for number 5, a 2nd rounder this year, a 4th rounder this year, and a 2026 1st round pick.
Wow! So a future first, their first, a 2nd this year,
yep,
and a 4th,
for the number 2, a 4th, and a 6th.
That's pretty steep. That's steep.
Yeah, but the drop off, obviously, from Travis Hunter to Mason Graham or Ashton Genty, they felt like was big enough where this guy can fill a hole at corner for them and play wide receiver. You got him next to Brian Thomas Jr. That's one of the elite duos probably at wide receiver in the NFL. So they're making moves one way or another. Their new front office is making moves.
Yeah, and we'll see. We heard they've been saying there's going to be a lot of movement in the 1st round. So we're in the top 10 even. So Caleb, we'll see if they actually decide to trade back. Our team's going to want to jump someone like the Raiders or whatever for Genty. Now, the hard part is everyone thought that Jacksonville was going to take Genty. So now do teams feel like the Bears or whoever, do they feel like they have to come all the way up to 4 to get Ashton Genty? Because I'm pretty sure that Membu and Kelvin Banks are going to go 6 and 7. Membu's probably going to go to the Raiders. 7 is going to be Kelvin Banks to the Jets. So it's going to be interesting to see. And it's a conversation we've had. As much as the Patriots might want to, or as we want the Patriots to move this 4th overall pick, our team's legitimately going to want to come up for him. So I don't know. Maybe there's a team. Maybe the Saints want to come up and get Shedeur because now Cleveland went to 5, and maybe they feel like they need to jump him. So we'll see. It's interesting because now there's a lot of movement.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it could get interesting here. Maybe sounds like the Bears are interested in Genty, so maybe they'll come up to 4. I don't know. There's some options.
That's a good deal for Cleveland. That's a good deal for them, honestly.
Oh yeah, for a non-QB, I think that's good. I just who do they take at 5 if it's not Shedeur though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock.
Yeah, and I think it's good because I think next year's quarterback class has the potential to be good. You see a couple of guys that might come out: Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller. Going to have obviously Arch Manning if he
they'll have some ammo.
Out, Cade Klubnik. So now they have 2 picks to potentially figure that out in next year's class. And I mean, Jacksonville still has Trevor Lawrence, I guess. So Jacksonville is going to have Ryan Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I just saw a tweet about imagine what the Patriots could have got for Cam Ward if that's what went for Travis Hunter. So it's like so frustrating. I think the Bears might try to trade up to 4, but I feel like they're not going to be desperate enough to try to make it enticing for the Patriots. So I think I don't know.
Cam, you got a lot of number ones in your life. You started with one offer from Incarnate Word. You are now the number 1 overall pick. How does this moment feel to you?
It's special. God did everything for me. Him, myself, my family. And I'm just blessed to be here. I'm ready to get to work.
Yeah, it's going to haunt us all.
With my teammates, and I'm just ready to get the process going.
We've seen you playing football, playing catch in the back all night long. You're staying loose. How ready are you to get to Tennessee and show them what you got?
Well, I'm ready. That's all I've been dreaming for. It's just an opportunity to play in the National Football League, and they bless me with it.
Are the Giants going to feel pressure to take a Jackson Dart because they've all been saying they like him more than Shedeur, but he's not going to make it past 9? You don't know, man. The owner of the Giants could easily walk in and say, hey, you're going to take this guy because
I hope he does. I don't know how, as a front office, fighting for your jobs, you're going to say, let's put that in Russell Wilson's hands and let's just get Abdul Carter. It's like, he's a stud, but edge rushers don't change. Like Cleveland has had Myles Garrett for years, and how good have they been? And he's probably the best in the game. So I just
they know who it is. We're about to hear who it is here. And Joel, we had a throw to the stage to give Cam Ward his due. You got 2 cents to chime in?
Travis Hunter to the Jags.
Well, I'll give you the floor on whatever.
Stop spoiling it, Cole.
Because this guy started 57
Listen,
games.
the people want to know.
They can watch it on themselves. I want to watch it.
All right.
No, you're fine. I'm just giving you credit. We knew that. I don't think that Jacksonville is going to go up for anyone else.
No, it's just the dream is dead.
And then moving forward, guys, to this pick, Jacksonville moving up. We touched on this before the draft here in the pre-show.
Yeah.
You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. Travis Hunter is the best wide receiver in the draft.
So best case scenario now,
draft, and I believe that
he
is
will play on both sides.
Or the Patriots get to trade down with someone at 4 because someone wants to come up for Genty. That's the other. Those 2 right there are best case scenarios.
So if you're the Pats at 4, assuming Carter's off the board and there isn't a trade partner, is Will Campbell the pick for you?
This is it, my man.
You know me, I still love Tedero McMillan, but yes, Will Campbell is still the pick for me.
Yeah,
I would rather have him over Jalen Walker. I think Ashton Genty would be a very fun pick, and you obviously want a guy like that, but this team needs more than just a running back. And I don't know, if that makes much sense. So my next highest graded player or my next highest guy on my big board would be Mason Graham, actually, but that doesn't make sense for the Patriots because of their 2D tackles they just signed. Then it would be Tedero McMillan, and then it would be Will Campbell. So And Will Campbell makes the biggest sense. I love Ted McMillan, but I think that the offensive line is one of the bigger needs. And honestly, I love Jaden Higgins in the second round a lot more than I like the second round tackles. So now that's playing a risky game, or he's saying, hey, maybe the Patriots could trade back up, in the second. That's a risky game, but that's kind of my preference. I'm going to turn it up for this pick, even though we know who it is.
While we are here tonight to celebrate the 32 young men entering the NFL, I'm honored to take a moment to recognize a player who's made a profound impact on and off the field. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and compassion both on and off the field and in the community. Tonight, we are proudly joined by the 2024 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, Eric Armstead.
First off, Duval.
That was a lot better than Liam Cohen's Duval.
I want to say thank you to the commissioner. Thank you to the Payton family and the NFL and Nationwide. And also, tonight I want to encourage each player embarking on the NFL journey to identify a passion close to their heart and act upon it. Use your platform to make your community, the league, and this world a better place. As we remember Walter Payton, strive to leave a positive legacy of your own. Thank you. We have a trade. The Cleveland Browns have traded the second pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter, wide receiver, defensive back from Colorado.
So Jags are expected to play him on both sides of the ball. It says as expected.
I wonder. My question is I wonder if it's more defense though, because I think they need more corner help. They'll obviously play him at receiver, but with Brian Thomas Jr., you might say, hey, we're going to use you more as a corner and then more, primary corner, which I think some teams like, say, the Browns or the Patriots could have said, hey, you're going to be a primary receiver. So I think that this makes a little more sense for him to play primary corner and then still rotate in packages. But, man, him and Brian Thomas Jr. are going to be dynamic.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's tough. Would have been really fun to see him and Drake May.
In the NFL draft,
but expected.
Jordan Schultz tweeted, "Trades are just starting." ...
Yeah, I saw that too.
DJ, of course he's running up there. He never gets tired.
Yeah, I still don't think, even if we got the number one pick, I don't think we would have ended up with Travis Hunter. I think it would have been a trade. But
all those other guys who could, Charles Woodson, did they feel like they were born too soon, Joel?
Would have been nice to get that ammo.
Like this young man.
I think Travis Hunter immediately for the Patriots would have been the most exciting player they've drafted since, they've had on their team since, you could say Tom Brady, but even then, like the dynamic and the electricity. And I get it that the NFL is not a popularity thing, but Travis Hunter immediately would have put butts in seats. They would have sold so much merchandise for him. I would have had a Travis Hunter jersey coming in the mail. And so, Robert Kraft has talked about, wanting to get back to winning ways, and he was going to help get back to winning ways, but he also helps the fan base, the excitement, getting a blue chip type player that not a lot of people are going to be able to say that they have on their roster. So, it is what it is. You move and you pivot. And I wonder if it really came down to Mike Vrabel, because in my opinion, the depth of this class and the kind of strength of it is from picks like 15 to 50. And the Patriots do have a lot of ammo in kind of that range. So I wonder if he was just saying, hey, let's sit and pick. We need to address receiver, offensive line. They need to address a couple of different things. They've been aggressive in saying they want to take a running back at some point in one of the mid rounds. So maybe it just came down to, hey, we still need more on this team, and we don't want to give up a second and a fourth this year and possibly a first in the future. So It's definitely interesting, and it would have been exciting. I'm not saying I wouldn't have done it, but I'm just trying to reason some of these, pick, this in here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Giants pick should be coming up here in the next couple minutes. At
The
least
other
on
thing-
Twitter.
Get out of here. I wonder if the Giants at all, and I've said this before on the Draft Geeks podcast, the other one that I've been doing for this season, and I don't think it actually would happen, but I wonder if there would at least be any consideration for the Giants to take Mason Graham. I don't think you ever think of taking him over Abdul Carter, but
Do you want
Abdul
the pick?
Carter, I mean, sure, it's Abdul Carter.
Yeah, it's Abdul Carter.
Yeah, I figured.
Giants take Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
Expected. Yep. So it's chalk draft so far.
Well,
Like,
everyone said that the draft starts at 3. The only thing right here was Jacksonville traded up and didn't get him. So, and the draft might even start at 5 because this one might be chalk too, unless there's a trade.
So Pats are on the clock. Abdul Carter to the Giants, as expected. Yeah, those wins hurt you.
Draft starts at 8. See, Boston GM, I don't agree with this because what's Cleveland going to do at 5? Even if you would have said that it was Jacksonville, what was Jacksonville going to do at 5? I think we have a pretty good beat that the Raiders and the Jets are going to go O-line, but still you could say, hey, the Jets could go Tyler Warren. The Raiders could go Ashton Genty. Someone could trade up for one of them. So I think that there's a good sense of what will happen in the next 4 picks, but I still think that there's going to be a lot of craziness also, and you never know. So
I think Campbell is the obvious pick here as far as what the Patriots are probably going to do.
Yeah.
I think Genty would be probably the most exciting. Maybe Tet or Genty would be pretty exciting just as far as like, wow, that's interesting. But I think Campbell makes a lot of sense. And I think sounds like they love the player so much that it just doesn't sound like they're going to go any other way. Maybe they've been fooling everybody. It's possible.
I was going to say it would be a major bluff job if it's not Will Campbell, in my opinion.
Yeah, but everybody has talked about how much the Patriots have raved about Will Campbell, just off the field, on the field, everything. His intangibles, who he is as a person. He's a guy you want on your football team. It just doesn't feel like a 4th overall pick, but he's a damn good football player, and they're going to be getting a good kid as well.
And he's a Vrabel guy, which is, what Vrabel, I mean, I don't think anyone would have thought that Kayshon Boutte would get traded. Now he hasn't yet, but there's been rumors. Vrabel wants to build this his way. This is kind of, he's coming in and putting his stamp on it and getting rid of some guys that maybe aren't ties to him or ties to what they want to be. So, it's going to be a bunch of guys that he wants there.
The New York Giants select Abdul Carter.
There you go.
Defensive end, Penn State.
So the first spot that could have gone to Shedeur Sanders that we expected does go as expected.
Well, here it is. The Patriots are on the clock. They have been for a while.
He is now going to Broadway with Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau and the rest of that terrific defensive line.
Usually when the GM gives somebody in the draft room a quick rip move, that means that they've just taken a pass rusher that he's very excited about. Abdul Carter, to me, there's 2 big-time elite players, whatever order you have them between Hunter and Carter. Those are the guys. Big-time.
I got it all loaded up, ready to go.
It reminds me a little bit of Von Miller, the way he.
You know who it is? Have they tweeted it?
No.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you. I'm just saying I got it loaded up of
the
projected pick.
Tyler doesn't want us to announce it early, so don't announce it early. I want to listen to it too.
Okay.
So you can have it loaded up for whenever they go, but yeah, I want to listen to it. Just might be our only pick. So I think I know where it's going. Unless there's a trade, but
do you want me to say anything if there's a trade either or no?
If there's a trade, you can say it. I would say if there's a trade, but if it's just straight up pick, you don't. We'll see it. Light Shadows wants the intel.
Yeah.
Sorry, Light Shadows. If you want the intel, you can look it up because I kind of want to be little.
Check our Instagram because it'll be posted.
Wow. Cole, if you don't say anything, then I know it's.
There you go, Light Shadows.
No facial expressions either.
If I blink 3 times, it's Campbell. If I blink 4, it's
he's gonna tap Morse code Campbell. So hopefully you know it and you can understand it. He'll tap how to spell it out.
The Giants have taken the last two. Saquon Barkley in 2018.
This is probably like the least amount of anticipation I've had for a pick for the Patriots in a while, just because I just feel so sure about it. You know what I mean?
Feel like you know where it's going.
Like,
Yeah.
even last year, there's so much like, is it JJ McCarthy? And I'm like scared to death. I'm like, please don't do this to me.
Yeah. And then what? 2 years ago, you know, you want Christian Gonzalez, he falls, and then you trade out, and then you wonder if he's going to be there. So,
does it say if the pick is in or not?
It doesn't say right now on the NFL Network stream that I'm watching right now, but it should. It still says on the clock on PFF too, so I'm not seeing anything that says the pick is in. Have you seen anything about?
Yeah, I just saw the pick.
Okay, you just saw the pick. Okay. I was going to say, have you seen anything about a trade?
So far, we've seen one trade and we've seen one pass rusher. So we'll see as we get through the rest of these quarterback teams, something to follow as we go through. Are we going to see another one? Are we going to see two?
The crazy thing is, no matter who they take, at least half the fan base will be up in arms.
Yeah.
Some people will hate if they take Ashton Genty because of running back. Some people will hate if they take Ted McMillan because he's slow and he can't separate, whatever. Some people will be mad because of Ted. Half the fan base with this fan base will be pissed no matter what. So,
do you think they'd be upset if the pick was Noel here?
Jalen Noel?
Yeah.
Shit, they should be, but damn Scouted would say that it would be worth it. No, Jalen Noel's a good receiver. Like I really like Jalen Noel.
I do too. I would like him.
Yeah. You'd want him in the, I mean, what do I have him at on my big board? He's in my top 50 for sure. I have Jalen Noel at 44. So I guess if you felt like at 38, you had to take him, but.
Light Shadows, I'm trying to keep a straight face regardless, so I'm not giving anything.
Yeah,
here. You take your assumptions. Don't look at the comments, Chase.
I know I'm on the picks page because I know that I see comments going on. So
all right, yeah, I just wanted to make sure
and I just got a notification on Instagram. I have to stay on my personal.
Congratulations to him and congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Doesn't even say the picks in on mine. Let's see. So,
oh my goodness,
they make the big splash, and we're going to break for the first time.
They're going to break right now, of course.
See, it's not.
Oh, come on.
It's killing me.
Is it as bad as Cole Strange? Are you as mad as you were when it was Cole Strange?
No.
I would be shocked if it's not Will Campbell. Like, not in a bad way.
Well,
but
get ready to be shocked.
Get out of here. I can't trust the single thing you said. Right
I'm
now,
I'm
just worried. Yeah, a little bit. Right now, I'm just worried about where the heck Ashton Genty's going to go because I just traded for the 101 in that dynasty league.
Oh, that's what you care about, huh?
Now I'm worried where the heck he's going to land. Trying to get them up there. I'm so interested to see what Cleveland does. I'm so interested. Like, I just, if you really traded back to get Mason Graham, that doesn't make sense. I guess Genty would be crazy there. Do they go O-line because they might need some O-line too, or did they really trade that to take Shedeur Sanders? I have no clue. This is actually really going to be really exciting depending on who the Patriots pick.
Appreciate you, Light Shadows. See you in a bit.
Oh, tell your wife to walk home, Light Shadows.
Whoa. Hey.
That's messed up.
Yeah, breaking news. Jace hates women.
I'm married. I love women, bro. But not on draft night. On draft night, they could walk home. Get an Uber. Pay for the Uber, Light Shadows. It's worth it.
I mean, this is craziness. How long is this pick going to take?
It says the pick's in online. They just got to go back to get.
Oh my God. It's been reported for 10 minutes here.
We're at pick 7 on PFF, huh?
Our post has been up for 5 minutes.
Oh my heck. Get to steppin'. Jace, get to steppin'. Do you know what that's supposed to mean?
It's why we make sure you have our best deals with Milo's Rewards, and that you get help from people who've
Been there.
done that.
Try this.
I don't care about this Lowe's commercial. Get this shit out of here. It's pissing me off.
We'll help you build something rewarding. Hey, Stan, what's up? I made you something. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna. Hopefully they get rolling because we're gonna have the 5th overall pick here soon.
Yeah, I know. They're on the clock.
You can't tell me. You can't tell me who the Browns pick either, or else then I'll get some context clues.
What did I do?
Not Jacksonville.
Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus.
What did I do here?
The moves, the plays,
Throw the Browns in there.
all in one place, all year long. Welcome home.
This is crazy.
This better be in. I think this is it right here. Okay, we're back at least.
Browns fans in my life are not happy. Well, let's see what they're going to do right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy if I was a Browns fan.
My son Cooper's not happy because we went to break on his Patriots.
Yeah, thank you.
We're about to get the commissioner in less than 20 seconds time. And,
Come on, Roger, get out there.
Browns, I
Stop
believe,
slacking.
selected. So, Vegas is now on the clock for the first time in this draft.
Bro, the 6th pick is already on because the freaking Browns have selected.
To be announced by the commissioner is the 6th overall pick is in the process of being made in
What
Vegas.
is going on?
With the 4th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, tackle.
That's what we all thought. That's what we all thought it would be. So it's the let me turn this down. It's the biggest need. It's the biggest need. And
yes, it is.
The height, the weight, the footwork is there. It's top 5 potential. It's the length. If he's a tackle, that's the question of there. But and he played at the best level, and so. Yeah, it'll get crucified. There will be a lot of people that won't like it. So the 5th pick, so Cleveland did go Mason Graham. That's crazy. Wow. So they just trade down.
Oh, they did?
Traded out. Yep, they took Mason Graham. That's what I just saw on PFF.
Wow.
So you pick up an extra 2nd, an extra 1st, an extra 4th, and then you get Mason Graham.
That's crazy. I don't love that if I'm Cleveland. I mean, the trade is great, but like, I don't know. Going from, I don't know. Mason Graham's a good player. I guess the value they got is solid for that, but
where's that T-Rex blow-up costume? I didn't forget.
Yeah, exactly. Where is that? Huh?
It didn't come in the mail.
Yeah, didn't come in the mail.
Sorry. Yes, Caleb. This is kind of where I go from now. Like as a Patriots fan, obviously, I'm watching the whole draft, but as a Patriots fan, I look for what receivers are going to fall to the mid to late 20s. I think if there's a good one there or a couple there, the Patriots could target trading with Minnesota. Minnesota does not have a lot of picks. I think the Texans could be one, depending on what the offensive line looks like there. So I'm looking for maybe the mid to late 20s. Who's going to fall there? Will the Patriots be aggressive to get back up? They were reportedly wanting to be aggressive to go get Travis Hunter. So do they want to get up or try to trade up and go get a receiver there? Or best case scenario, or one of them, Jaden Higgins falls to 38 and they can get a big bodied receiver right there, because I am a huge Jaden Higgins fan. So those are kind of the things we'll watch throughout these next 20 picks right here. But I really think it gets, if a wide receiver starts to fall towards that back half of the 20s, I think that there's an opportunity the Patriots could be aggressive and want to trade up and get one.
Yeah, I think they should definitely. You got your tackle figured out. Let's get this figured out. I know you got Diggs and stuff, but there's some good options there who could potentially fall.
Love letter from the New
This is the interview.
Patriots. You haven't stopped smiling since you heard your name. What's behind that smile?
Man, just all the hard work.
Congratulations.
Is that it?
He's crying.
No, I figured that, but is it over?
No.
Here, to be able to get my name called by a franchise like New England, it means everything to me.
We can feel that. We absolutely can feel that, Will. You are brought to New England to protect Drake May. What kind of tone are you going to set on this offensive line?
I'm going to fight and die to protect them with everything I got.
Congratulations, Will.
See,
Hey,
like you can't not love that.
I'm just
Like,
gonna say one thing. I'm gonna say one thing.
can't not love
This
that.
guy obviously is the 4th overall pick. Obviously, as the 4th overall pick and stuff, he's gonna have high expectations. But this dude's gonna work his ass off every day. He's gonna be a tone setter. So Boston GM says Saban loves this guy. Is Saban on Pat McAfee right now? Is that where he is? I'm literally asking you because I'm wondering if Saban's talking about him or
I'm not sure.
GM. Are you just saying that he's he's just has said good things about him? But Saban knows him. Saban's coached against him for 2 seasons. He didn't coach against him last year, but he's on ABC. Okay, so Saban's saying good things about him on ABC.
Is Bill? Oh no, Bill's probably not, right?
Bill's at Chapel Hill, bro.
Mike McCarthy's on Pat McAfee.
Okay.
I mean, he's glowing about Campbell too. Sounds like so.
I'm telling you, I believe, and I have no sources. I'm not saying this. I think the NFL is way higher on Will Campbell, despite his arm length, than analysts, fans, stuff like that. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that are Will Campbell fans. If he didn't go to the Patriots at pick 4, he probably still would have been a top 10 pick. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, yes, top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
And that's where it comes in. Ideally, you take the trade out because that probably was not realistic. Would you have been happy if they took Genty? It would have been exciting, but would you have rather have had Genty or Campbell? Biggest need and stuff like that. What would you have been?
I think Will Campbell makes more sense,
Yes.
probably. But
Yes.
Genty is a better player than Will Campbell.
Yeah. I mean,
Genty isn't a blue chip necessarily. Like, he's not in the same tier as Travis Hunter and stuff, but having an elite running back makes a big difference. If you have an O-line who can support that. But I mean, adding Genty to this offense, give Vrabel his Derrick Henry again. I know they're different, but
With the 5th pick in the 2025
the Raiders. The Raiders.
Genty, yeah.
The Raiders took Genty. Wow, so a lot of people thought they were going to go Membu, but Pete Carroll gets his running back of the future. I like that spot for him. He's going to have a huge workload right off the bat. Because they don't got receivers, bro.
They're going to just throw it to Bowers over and over again. All right, I'll give you a 6th-round pick for Genty.
Yeah, it's okay, bro.
So I love the value they're getting here. This is a guy with a wrestling background.
Carolina fielding calls for the 8th pick. Trade back up.
Give their next 4 firsts away. You think they'd take Kayshon Boutte?
Yeah, it's a trade up.
Trade up. Just trade up to pick 8 for Kayshon Boutte.
Yeah, why not?
We can take Tet.
Yeah, he really is. Like, it's the player. There is nothing to not be absolutely thrilled about with the person you're getting in the locker room here and in the building. Like, just a dude who just loves ball, loves the weight room. He's a psychopath, like, in a good way. He's just such a good dude to add to that team. And as a not a first-year head coach, but you're building up a new regime. Adding this guy to that room, you got him, Will Campbell, and some of these other leaders here. I just think
he's got a tough attitude.
it's a great add to the team. You just hope he can stick a tackle and is a good to great tackle for a decade.
That's linebackers better. He's going to make the safeties better. He's going to make everybody better in that deep,
including Myles Garrett, because that's a guy who the Browns.
And the other thing is
now they add Mason.
I promise you, Mason Graham had just as bad of measurements and stuff for the defensive tackle position as Will Campbell did. And that's why I'm saying the measurements do mean something. They mean a lot. But I think when you play the game and you've played at the level and the competition, Will Campbell and Mason Graham make those questions a little bit less concerning just because of how good they have been at the highest level and how dominant in the production they've had. So Pat Scout IG, what does he want to do? Trade back up, get Tyler Bookey, take Kyle Williams at 77 if he's available, solidify that left side of the line. So I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan of Tyler Booker. I have Tyler Booker right now. Where did I put him at? He's at 39 on my big board. I am personally a little bit more worried about Tyler Booker, the lack of athleticism. I think he's more of a bruising downhill type of guard, which is not bad, but it depends on what scheme you want to run. I wouldn't trust him to reach guys in wide zone. I wouldn't trust him to pull. I think guys get stuck behind him a little bit. So Tyler Booker would not be on my radar personally. And Kyle Williams, although he's climbed up, he's going to give you a ton of yards after the catch. I worry about the little bit lighter frame. And honestly, I think that the hype was kind of, I don't want to say not warranted because he probably will be a second-round pick, but I don't know if I would see him. I guess 77 would make a little bit more sense. I thought you were talking about a second-round pick, but yeah, 77 if he were to fall, though, I just don't know if that's realistic. I think someone with the hype would want to take a chance on him in the back half of the second if he's still there.
Yeah. Vrabel is getting interviewed right now. Said this was an easy pick for us. We spent a lot of time. Looked at a lot of players. We're excited about adding him. He's a foundational piece.
You know, you're about to line up next to Myles Garrett every day. How does that sound?
He can easily be the left tackle for the next 8 years.
If all goes well, yeah.
He's the real deal.
Yep.
So
Congratulations, Mason.
appreciate it.
So we were talking in mock draft world, right? Cam Ward, then Travis Hunter, then Abdul Carter, then Will
So Jets
Campbell.
are on the clock now?
Right.
Yes.
The only thing that's non-chalky about
I bet the Jets right here go Membu.
Cleveland took Mason Graham, and then
Losing Morgan Moses, they need a right tackle. Membu makes a lot of sense here, unless they shock people and go Tyler Warren, because they do need a tight
I think
end.
that's a possibility as well. Yeah.
But if you're not bringing back Rodgers, who's the quarterback there? Is it Fields? Like, I'm getting an offensive line to build. I'm not getting Tyler Warren. So, but they could.
Vrabel said Campbell cemented himself as the Patriots pick last week when the team went down to Louisiana to meet with him.
So they've
a young player who cares deeply about the team, a leader in the room. We love his football character.
Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Genty.
See, if the Bears really wanted Genty, they could have came up before.
From the blue turf to silver and black.
Well, Boston GM said, "Wow, Jets being Jets." So what are we going to see here? Bro, the biggest shock would be Shadur or a quarterback here.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll do it, but that would be a big shock.
That would be a big shock.
It could be their biggest need.
I don't see.
I haven't seen anything yet, but Boston GM.
Is he just predicting?
Maybe.
You see him get out of some tough situations when you're watching that Boise State team.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
This is the calling card. Again, you've got an unblocked defender. They get free cracks at him, and you can't get him on the ground because of that contact balance. He is just a piece of muscle. There's not a lot of surface to hit on him. You see, again, the contact balance here, always finding a way to get forward. Right foot, right shoulder, able to power through as it's time for next-gen stats.
He said, maybe my guy's no good, or he's that good and he's just that far ahead of people. We don't know yet. So I guess we'll find out.
It's possible. I have not seen anything.
Productive running backs that have entered into the NFL. So one of the fun players to watch. If you had any questions, just watch the Oregon game. Kick your feet up.
Genty to the Raiders.
That was pretty early in the
season. Raiders.
Should I put who's on the clock back up?
We always talk about past success.
The Jets did go Armand Membu.
They did.
Yeah, is that what you were seeing, Boston GM? That makes sense, honestly. They lose Morgan Moses to the Patriots. He's their right tackle. They need a right tackle. They've been missing. Honestly, offensive line helped for a while, and Morgan Moses was maybe one of their most consistent ones, even though he was hurt a ton. So Armand Membu makes sense for them. Yeah, he's a
great player.
And it's easy because some people were like, well, there's not much need for right tackle in the top half of the first round, but there's definitely a need for them. So Boston GM said he saw Warren.
You know, in terms of where are you entering the defense, all of these different, Chip is going to get that run game going. There's no doubt. Here's what I love about Ashton Genty is it's again kind of like Cam Ward.
We got a ways to go before the Pats could be on the clock.
Yep, we're just sitting back and watching now.
If at all. I can't even get it on the TV.
So he has to play slot receiver. He's got that in his background. Finally gets to Boise State and runs for 2,600 yards.
And now he's a Las Vegas Raider hanging out with Jamie Erdahl.
Ashton, you are going to the entertainment capital of the world to play football. What
That's a fun fit for them too.
Las Vegas Raiders.
I mean, you seen it, the energy, you seen the dance moves. I'm ready to go entertain each and every week on Sunday.
The commissioner of the NFL just picked you up in that hug. Is that the last man that's going to try to tackle you in the NFL?
Nah, I don't think so.
That was a dumb question.
Congratulations.
That was horrible.
Thank you.
So there goes Ashton Genty.
No, I don't think so.
And we're going to get that when we come back from break. Don't stop believing is blaring right now at the Browns draft party. A very interesting choice.
All right, so Panthers on the clock.
Panthers on the clock unless they make this trade out.
Let's see if they're still looking at it. You think makes sense here for the Panthers?
So let's think a little bit more positively for the Browns.
What do the Panthers need?
Loves hearing his name. We'll hear who's the next New York Jet.
I think it's so funny, Cole. And sorry, I'll turn this down. I know it's didn't happen. But how many people wanted the Patriots to sign Alaric Jackson in free agency? And I get it. He was proven in the NFL. He's been really good. But, man, Alaric Jackson was nowhere near the prospect coming out of Will Campbell. So if Alaric Jackson can do it, and I'm not saying it's a one-for-one translation, but if Alaric Jackson can make that move and, be consistent with his sub 33-inch arms, I would say, hey, Will Campbell has a very good chance of being able to do that too. So it just makes it funny because that's what a lot of people were talking about. Like, hey, we want Alaric Jackson. He'd be great. Well, he has shorter arms than Will Campbell does. And he got paid a bag to stay.
Yeah, he did. And we've talked about it, like just the fact that he has already proved himself at the NFL level changes things a little bit, but it's the same concept. Like arm length is not the only thing that matters.
I'm ready for the whole night with multiple Uncrustables sitting down here. There you go. That's what I'll eat. Will Campbell is going to be serving some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches instead of pancakes. He's going to be putting some dude on some. He's going to be making them jelly. That was bad. That was really bad.
What are you doing?
I don't know. But
you got to stick to the mock drafts, Jason.
These little
the rhymes are not.
These little things are freaking good, though, bro.
Oh yeah, I got 2 boxes in the freezer right now.
So good.
I've had 2 of those today.
Is this your lunch every day?
No, not every day, but I do have them.
Wait,
great.
How long have these been in Maine? You guys finally got on this trend? I thought you guys took a while. Your little
Uncrustables?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Those have been around.
You guys don't know about any of this good stuff. So
I've
far
been
up
eating
there.
Uncrustables.
You guys are like 90% Canadian.
No, absolutely not. Not even close. I will say you can drive on like ATV trails into Canada technically.
Thank you.
From
Canadian.
Maine, but like
Canadian.
No. Commercials in the first.
No one
round
take a
draft.
picture of me. I always get taken a picture of during this stream when I'm eating. Every year. No, I mean, there it is. I'm freaking split down the middle. Every year.
I'm kind of devastated that you didn't get that T-Rex costume.
What would you have done if I didn't tell you and I just came out and I just got on the stream?
Oh my god, it would have been awesome. It would have been so awesome. Giants picked up Kayvon Thibodeau's 5th-year option.
Wow.
All right, well, we got Panthers on the clock. Where do you think Ted ends up?
Right here.
Yeah.
I would love it because, the dynasty trade I just made was for, I have some 105 still, and I got Bryce Young. So I would just pair them if I could.
Yeah, I got 104, so I don't think you're going to be.
You're a little. Do you really have 104?
Yeah.
You dick. I shouldn't have told you.
I'm just kidding. I don't.
You hate Tet, though. You hate him. You're like,
I
he's worse
wouldn't
than the
take him
Harry.
at 310.
Of course you wouldn't.
Edward, how's it going?
Edward, what's up, man? Good to see you. Carolina, I think Jalen Walker is a fit here. That's been kind of rumored too. They do need defensive side. The fun side would be getting Tet McMillan out there because I do think Bryce Young showed enough to say, hey, we need to give this guy someone a little bit better than like an Xavier Legette. So I think he would make sense. But I do think Jalen Walker here. They just signed J.C. Horn, but Will Campbell would be another one that I could see them doing, just shoring up the secondary. But the two that I mentioned personally, I would look at Will Campbell and probably Jalen Walker would be the ones I'd look at.
Will Campbell?
I mean, jeez, did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
When did I just say that too? I'd look at?
You said personally, I'd look at Will Campbell.
Sorry,
or
I meant
Walker.
Tedero, McMillan, and Jalen Walker. That's who I'd look at.
Vrabel says Patriots are open to trading back into the first.
There
I
you
would
go.
hope you're open to it. I would hope.
Yeah,
you're more
I hope
than
everyone
open
was
to it.
open to it. Yeah. If the right guy falls.
Yeah, if somebody wants to give us a first round pick, I'll take it.
Did you see the last mock draft that I did? For the not for us, for the Draft Geeks. You don't support me, so no, you didn't.
That's crazy.
We had, and I don't think this is likely. It just happened to work out that Ibuka fell to 32, and we had the Patriots trading up to 32 to get him. And honestly, we would have.
Yeah, I knew that. I was just seeing if you remembered.
Get the heck out of here. Even if he fell to 33, you could look at moving up first. I mean, hey, this first pick tomorrow, pick 33 is valuable. Now, doesn't Cleveland have that? And they've said they want to keep that.
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
I swear I saw a tweet that said that because they had 2 seconds.
That's one of the other things. I think we might have talked about this before, but when you fell from the first overall pick, you not only fell from 1 to 4, you fell from 33 to 38.
Yep,
which is big. That's a big
in
difference.
this class. That's huge.
It's a big difference.
Yes.
So screw the Bills, screw Mayo, and Joe Milton.
It's Tet. The Panthers took him. Yes. I love that. Stand on business because freaking everyone thought Tet was falling, man.
You know what's crazy? All the shit you were giving me for spoiling, and now here you are.
Well, we're past the Patriots now, so who cares?
Unreal. I can't wait to tell you the Patriots pick as soon as it comes out.
Let's go.
What is going on here?
I love that pick for them.
My sports update, Ari, tweeted Tedero McMillan at 8, and he posted a picture of fucking Nolan as the cover. Walter Nolan.
For Nolan?
Yeah, from Ole Miss.
Jordan Schultz a couple of weeks ago, I sent it to Gabe Pats because it was so funny. He posted a rumor about Amari Hampton and included a picture of Elijah Huzzy, the corner he's been talking about forever. He was like, Amari Hampton could go as high as pick whatever. And it was a picture of Elijah Huzzy. I was like, oh, that's bad.
That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, so Tet's off the board. I was hoping wide receiver. I was hoping Tet was going to fall to like 20, just so that the wide receiver run didn't start, and you could trade up to 20 or trade up to 24 for Golden or any of these guys.
Rise and shine.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
GMFB is live from LA, and we've got all things football.
We're here, baby. Let's get it.
Drake May said, "Love this guy already. Let's fucking go."
No one in the league is playing better than him.
And be best friends, hopefully. And then they find.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully they find a receiver that could be their third buddy. The three amigos.
Have you seen Stephon Diggs crapping on Kendrick Bourne's shoes in the locker room?
I haven't.
There's been some clips. He's posted a couple of them within the past week. Just like, I don't know what was going on before I came here, but we're not having this. He's like, this is not happening.
Welcome to a vacation that's
Okay, so the Saints are on the clock. His Tet is going to go to Carolina. This is where it's interesting to see if the quarterback comes off, Shadur or Jackson Dart. I wouldn't take Jackson Dart. I wouldn't take either of them here personally. It sounds like there might be one of them taken here. I'm trying to think of who else. They need offensive line help.
I mean, if Shadur doesn't go here, Bears don't need a quarterback. Niners don't. Cowboys don't. Dolphins don't. Colts probably won't take one. Falcons.
It would the next team would probably be the Steelers at 21.
Yeah, which is,
or you're looking at a team trying to trade up and get him in the late 20s or the early 20s. Like you could look at the Giants trading up there. Or Cleveland just accumulated picks. Are they going to trade up for him? Was that their plan all along? Hey, let's trade down, get a couple more picks, an extra first, and let's trade.
It's possible. They might have thought that, you trade up to 18 or something.
Because right now, Cleveland has 33 and 36 in the second round. And then in the third,
where are you
in
getting?
the
Where'd
third,
you get the?
I'm on PFF, the draft tracker on PFF.
All right.
And then, the Browns have 2/3 and 2 seconds. 33, 36, 67, 94. They could be looking to potentially move up and strike a deal if a quarterback falls that they like.
Yep.
Well, this defense was terrible last year, so then that's really look at a lot of different areas. The pass rush, just finding playmakers on the defensive side of the ball is something that's much needed in Carolina. You also have Bryce Young, who, man, what a kick save. After he got a chance to catch his breath, came back and played better. You could also try and give him a little sugar and give him somebody that can make some plays for him as well. This is a team that's.
Where do you think Bears go from here? Do you think a running back, any other running backs get pushed up this high?
I think Amari and Hampton would be in consideration right here. They shocked the world when Ben Johnson, and he wasn't the head coach and stuff, but he was the OC. They took Gibbs. So with how aggressive they supposedly were for Genty, I could see that. Trying to look running back.
But you think if they were okay with either, they would have tried to trade up?
Yeah.
Still? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to see. I mean, I think they need some interior defensive line. So whoever they prefer, Kenneth Grant or Walter Nolan, or I like Derek Harmon. I don't know if he would go this high. They could use edge rusher too. They could go tight end. They could go tight end.
Wide receiver, Arizona.
Yeah,
so they go offense, and they go.
Let me read this real quick, Jace.
The tweet.
Pat Scout. I was just about to read this. So this is a tweet from Pete Thamel about Will Campbell and the Patriots. So, how would you like to punch your future boss on a job interview? Well, that's one way that LSU star Will Campbell won over Patriots coach Mike Vrabel last Thursday. The top Patriots brass and Vrabel traveled to Baton Rouge to work out Campbell. Vrabel ran the workout and wore a blocking pad over his chest. In a drill to execute a drive block, sources said that Campbell hit Vrabel square in his chest and knocked Vrabel back on his derriere. Vrabel loved it and had a big smile on his face as he gathered himself and got up.
I love Vrabel, bro. I love Vrabel. He's so fun.
That probably was the moment Vrabel's like, "Welcome to New England." Can you imagine? You're like, this dude he might take me 4th overall. I got to knock him on his ass. Like, here we go. Boom. Oh, that's funny. That's a good story.
It shows up on the football field.
Huge production. I mean, huge production. He had 174 catches, 2,700 yards. And
these picks are way too long. Like,
yeah, they give him 10 minutes here, and I'm pretty sure that because they have to fill like 4 hours, so they.
Oh, Saints pick Calvin Banks.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. He's got guard tackle versatility. Mostly on the left side too, and so they could keep Fuanga or they could move him into left guard, who they took last year, and they could easily say, "Hey, he's a better guard," or they could move Banks there and keep Fuanga at left tackle. So, kind of sure up their left side too.
It's interesting what the Bears do here. Whether they do grab a, I don't know who they ended up going. Jalen Walker, Mike Green, Hampton.
Kurt Warner, take it away. I'll tell you what I love about this, guys, is I believe he could be a true X receiver. And what we mean by that is that solo guy on the back.
Yeah, Vrabel is an awesome coach. I'm very excited about him.
Quarterback than to look out there and go, oh, I got one-on-one. I got my guy over there. I don't have to overthink this. I can go back and play pitch and catch. So I like this pick for the young quarterback, Bryce Young.
Thank you very much for those 2 cents, Kurt. Now let's welcome.
Thank you, Kurt Warner.
To Primetime, presented by Nationwide. Jamie?
Ted Aroa, we know who you are on the football field, but you are letting everybody know who you are with an homage to your heritage tonight. Why was this important to you?
Oh, man. Everything I do is not only to glorify him, the man above, but, you know, to put on for my Polynesian people. So shout out to all my Polys, man. We did it.
You see this Panthers fan base right here. They got a
Come on, man.
big face of Bryce Young back there. What kind of magic are you guys going to make?
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, the Cali connection is going to be something different. I promise.
Congratulations, Cetera.
Cali to Cali.
Ian Rappaport, take it away, sir.
Ian?
Rich, with the Saints poised to make the number 9 overall pick, worth noting Derek Carr's future is very much in doubt to the New Orleans Saints, dealing with a shoulder injury, still has not yet made a decision. So consulting with several experts whether or not he's going to have surgery. They do not know if he's going to be ready or if he's going to play at all in the 2025 season. That brings us around to the quarterbacks. They did all the homework on the quarterbacks. Be surprised if Shedeur Sanders was the pick here, but several other quarterbacks they like in this round.
Well, there's Shedeur at the crib, as Prime would call it.
Well, we know this. The Saints don't take a quarterback there.
If it's Shedeur Sanders with this pick here.
Rich, just based on my conversations, either it's the longest con of all time or the Saints liked Tyler Shook and Jackson Dart just a little higher just based on the overall package than Shedeur Sanders.
Thank you very much, Ian. Your sense on this?
Well, I talked to a lot of folks around this quarterback situation. I try and see who's doing the most work. Now, it's one thing with a Travis Hunter to maybe try and play coy. And
Patriots, Panthers about to take Besh in the second round and remake Adam Thielen.
Full-scale workup on them. And it just didn't seem to me like the Saints were doing that on these.
I mean, I like Besh a lot. I don't.
Early in the draft. So
where are they drafting in the second, though? I don't know if Besh is a top 50 player. As good as he is and as solid as he is, I don't know if he's a top 50 guy. I have him at 56 on my list. Just, you know, the limitations athletically. I mean, even comparing him to Puka Nacua and stuff, that's not. I mean, he's been great in the NFL, but that's lofty comps, and that's also 1 in a million, not 1 in a million, but just haven't been many guys that succeed like that. So great route runner, sure hands, doesn't drop the football. He's going to block his ass off, but I don't know if that's a top 50 pick there for Carolina. So we'll see. Yeah, he does a lot of things really well. Jack Besh does a lot of things really well that some team will like him. And well, obviously they'll take him. I think he's a day 2 guy, probably a middle to late day 2 guy. I could see him sneaking into the back half of the second round and then early third or whatever. But yeah, I think that he's kind of the guy that's going to go in, do the gritty, grimy things you want to do, the ones that you need to do, but he's not going to wow you athletically a bunch of times. So do like Besh though, as a fan. That'd be, see, like that part of me is like, man, if he fell to like 69 or 77, that'd be a fun pick for the Patriots. But then again, it's just like, where's the upside? The upside's not there. So
not a surprise at all to see them go with tackle. We'll see which quarterback they're protecting down the road here and see what that looks like. But investing in the trenches, not surprised to be that's the direction they went.
And notice they said tackle, right? Not guard, because there's talk about him kicking inside the guard. DJ, take it away from here.
Yeah, very balanced in pass protection.
I'm interested, guys, in the chat. I clearly had Genty above Banks, but I know that maybe some people would have had. Oh, this is good for Cole that he's walking in here too. Is there anyone in here that would have preferred Banks over Banks over Will Campbell? Cole, I'm asking him, would you have preferred Banks over Will Campbell?
No.
Okay. I know some people maybe were thinking that, but we'll see.
Colston Loveland.
I thought the Bears would take him. That's crazy that they take him over. Well, it's not crazy because he fits that scheme. What Ben Johnson wants to do and stuff, I don't trust him to be out on or in line tight end blocking, but bro, putting him out on air. Think of Caleb Williams and that freaking passing attack. Colston Loveland, DJ.
They're trying to make the next Mahomes Kelsey.
Bro, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Did you guys already talk about that?
Colston Loveland?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that until you said that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Always happy to spoil.
Boston GM asks, how do you have Ozzy Trapio? He is the big offensive lineman out of BC. I like Trapio. I think he's a 3rd round guy with his size, and he
That's
actually has
projected. No.
Yeah, I with his size and the better length that he has than most. He has 33.5-inch arms, 82 and a 1/4-inch wingspan, which is better than most. Like there's guys like Josh Connerly who have 34-inch arms, but only an 80 and 82-inch wingspan. So broad shoulders, big, tall guy. He's also 6'8" and a 8. I think his size alone is going to get him drafted a little bit higher than maybe his production was, but he's a developmental guy, and he also has ties to Doug Marrone. So that could be something to watch out for potentially the Patriots looking to double dip at tackle in the third with 69 and 77. I also like him because he's a right tackle. And as much as I love the Morgan Moses signing, he's been hurt the last couple of years on and off, and he's older. So it gives you a little bit of protection if Morgan Moses doesn't pan out or he gets hurt.
You want to
Yep. Is this his interview? Look at him vibing, bro.
Can you hear?
I can't hear it now. Colston Loveland.
Do you know how to do the volume? Do you know how to get the volume to work on here?
On your computer?
Yeah. Do you want to pull it up?
Yeah, let's see if I can pull it up and share. Is that
You
just
can't
on?
hear that?
I can't hear that, no. Sometimes StreamYard doesn't let you pull in the audio. But I know we've done it before.
Well, you have audio playing right now, don't you?
But I'm just Bluetoothed in on my iPad. So it's technically going through like my interface.
Oops. Sorry, wrong one.
Just kicked me out.
Sorry. Okay. Do you want to try throwing that on YouTube on here or something, or I don't know?
Yeah. Let me here. I'm just gonna. San Francisco went Michael Williams.
I didn't think he would be the first Georgia guy off the board.
That pick honestly makes a little bit of sense for me. I thought they'd go interior defensive line, but that makes a little bit of sense for me with Michael just because sorry, I'm trying to type this in now. Because he has such a good floor as a run defender. So putting him, beside Nick Bosa makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Is it who's streaming that, or where's that at, Cole?
It's on YouTube for the Pats are streaming it.
Patriots.
That's odd that it wouldn't transfer the volume over for me.
Will Campbell. Nope, that's not it. Live press conference. It says upcoming. So is it live right now?
Yeah, it was live for me.
Mine's on Vrabel right now. Let me see if I scroll back if it's there. Yeah, mine's on Vrabel right now. Oh, okay. I got it.
Pete Thamel that you put Vrabel on his butt. Just curious on what it was like working out with your new head coach.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Him and some of the other staff came in, and we had a great workout, got some good work in. They taught me some new stuff, and yeah, I mean, I got him. I'm not gonna lie, I got him on the ground. And then we had a great lunch after. A bunch of great guys. I'm just super excited for this opportunity.
Will, what was it? Sophie, I report on the Patriots for A to Z Sports. I'm just curious what it was like to hear your name called and what it means to play for an organization like the Patriots.
I mean, it's everything. I played for a historic program at LSU, and now to play for one in New England, I guess I'm lucky. But I'm just super excited and thankful to wear that logo on the side of my helmet and across the front of my chest. It's a complete honor, and I'm just excited.
Well, Chris Price with the Boston Globe. I'm curious. I know that you have a relationship with Keyshawn Boutte, but in terms of guys who are already in the New England locker room, have you been able to connect with any of them? And who might some of those guys be?
I've had a chance to, I know Jaquelin Roy as well. He was one of my teammates. Him and Keyshawn Boutte are, the two that I know the best. I've seen some of the other guys around the facility when I was there on my top 30 visit. But I'm just super excited to get up there and meet the rest of the guys.
Hey, Will, congratulations. Nicole Miner with NBC 10 in Providence. How excited are you to work with Drake May and ultimately to protect him on the field?
Yeah, I'm super excited. He's a heck of a player, a heck of a leader. And, you know, he's the commander of our offense. I'm not only excited to play with him, but, you know, the rest of the team. I'm excited for the future that we have in Foxborough, and I think we got a special season coming.
Hey, well, congratulations. Sam Knox with WPRI TV in Providence. What were your impressions watching the Patriots growing up? Any memories that kind of stick out to you?
Yeah, I mean, they always used to just dominate. Every time that I turned the TV on and the Patriots were playing, they were dominating whoever it was. You know, Tom Brady, Danny Amendola, Julian Edelman, Gronk, all those guys just dominating throughout the years that I was growing up. So that's all I remember is them just winning.
Hey, Will, Nicole Yang, Boston Globe. When did you know that you were going to be drafted by the Patriots?
This is where I've wanted to be since the start. Elliot Wolf came to my practice whenever I was probably about week 5 of the season, and I told him this is where I wanted to be. And, you know,
these parents, how cool is that?
Connections.
I know it's about the player, but I'm appreciating listening to these parents. All that they put in for their kid, their son, and growing up. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting thing because a lot of times this day and
What's
age,
happening?
some of the parents
It's-
can get a
this is
bad
on the
rep.
stream.
Sometimes they earn it. That's for sure.
Look,
But
Will
for the
Campbell's
most part,
so
you're seeing
confused right now.
stories tonight of love and family.
Oh, there we go. Dude, he was like looking over, like pointing at the headset. He's like, I can't hear. They must have tapped
Sorry
in a
about that.
stream or something. There we go.
Sorry, well, so you were saying that Elliot came to one of your practices in week 5 and you told him you wanted to be in New England?
Yeah, I mean, I told him and, you know, our area scout, Alex Brooks, that I wanted to be a Patriot. And that happened in the middle of the season. I've had great interactions with, you know, everybody throughout the process. A lot of them, you know, private workouts, 30 visits, just being up there, getting to meet everybody. And, you know, it's just where I wanted to be. And, you know, I'm just super excited to get there.
Hey, Will, Karen Garegian from Mass Live. If you were to describe your playing style to the New England fan base, how would you describe it?
Nasty. You know, I'm gonna go
Yes,
out there,
dude.
and give everything I have.
Pause. One of the main reasons I like him, there's a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons is he is a prick, bro. He finishes guys. No one's gonna beat him. No one's gonna be tougher than him.
Single play to, you know, protect my teammates, protect my quarterback, and just put the, you know, the Patriots in the best position possible to, you know, help win games on Sundays.
Hey, Will. Chris Mason with Matt's Live. You said a few times that New England is where you wanted to be. Why is that?
I just think that the culture and, you know, the New England Patriot logo speaks for itself. I believe in the guys in that locker room. I believe in the quarterback. And Coach Vrabel is, you know, my kind of guy. He's all ball, no BS. And that's what I want to play for. He's very hands-on. He loves the players that he coaches. And, you know, I just want to be a part of that.
Well, Greg Goddard from Boston Sports Journal. With all the discussion
Greg.
about your arm length, whether you can play left tackle in the league, are you entering this league with more of a chip on your shoulder than probably normal?
I'm just excited to, you know, get any opportunity that, you know, presents itself to, you know, help the team in any way that I can, wherever that might be. And I'm just excited to be a Patriot.
Hey, Will, Mike Yuba, 12 Sports in Rhode Island. I don't know if you've had a chance to talk with Coach Kelly at all. He's a New England guy. Did he give you any tips about what to expect in New England? And I don't know if he showed you that New England accent. I know people pick on him for that.
His accent in
Coach
Boston might be
Kelly's
problematic.
Both of his sons have been telling me that their uncle lives up there right outside of Foxborough, and he's going to get me set up. And Coach Kelly told my dad he's going to have to cook y'all some gumbo. So we'll see what that's about.
Anything else, guys?
Will, Nick O'Malley from Mass Live. Have you spent much time, if any, outside of visits in New England, up north in the Massachusetts area? Do you have any connections up here?
No, sir, I do not. You know, whenever I came up on my 30 visit, that was the first time that I had been up there. It was an awesome place. I'm super excited to get there.
We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Have a great night. You've got a lot of media stuff to do while you're there, but enjoy the rest of the night. See you.
They're messing up the audio again. So, okay, we're gonna go to Mike Vrabel's press conference now.
Get your first job. Realize you. What is taking so long for Dallas's pick here?
Trade? New England? Just kidding.
Well, I don't know. They've been on the clock forever. I feel like you think this is too early for Golden.
No, I don't think it's. For me, it's too early. I just didn't love the film of Golden. I didn't think it matched up with his testing numbers. I think he's going to be a really good route runner. I didn't see it, but I don't think that this is out of the question for them. I think they could also look interior defensive line here. Or could they go Amari and Hampton? I don't think they're going to go running back. Let's wait until the Cowboys get their pick in at least and see. I don't know if it will happen anytime soon.
I mean, you would think.
Should happen hopefully sooner rather than later.
The Vrabel, is it video too? You want me to take this down?
Say that again, sorry.
Do you have the video on Vrabel?
Yep. I'll play it once
okay.
We get the Cowboys pick here. Yeah, we'll play the Vrabel. That was a good press conference though by Will Campbell. Like the way he just conducts himself, you can tell he's been under
Very
a
pro
lot.
interview.
Like, it's a pro interview, right? And I mean, that's not a reason to draft a guy at number 4, but he's a mature guy for his age. He's relatively young too in NFL standards. He is not even 21 and a half yet. He's 21 years and 3 months old. So he's going to play pretty much his whole rookie year at 21 years old. Like he's super young. He's already started 3 years. He was a unanimous All-American. Like there's a lot to like about the guy outside of the T-Rex arms that some people think he has.
You got to order that thing.
Get out of here.
You got to order that thing and you got to come to Massachusetts for training camp and wear that.
Hey, Will. How's it going?
Guess who I am, Will? I'm you.
I'm the guy off Toy Story. It'll be like the Spider-Man meme where we're pointing at each other, but just with really red arms.
Dude, what is going on with Dallas here?
This is crazy.
Jerry Jones just wants all the attention.
Oh, this is actually interesting too. And this is from Evan Lazar, but it's I've read this before too. I don't know why I've never brought it up. Excuse me. My favorite nugget about Will Campbell is that he wore a number 7 patch on his jersey at LSU, which is given to the most electric playmaker at LSU. Lyman can't wear number 7, so he had to wear it on a patch. So they so there you go. Did you see the Cowboys pick? I hate it. I hate that.
I did. Tyler Booker, really?
I hate that pick for him. I'm sorry. I think Tyler Booker will be a very good offensive lineman in the NFL, but at 12, I do not like that. The athleticism is not there. They better run a shit ton of gap schemes and pull to his side. He better not be the puller because I do not like that. So we finally have Dallas. It was Tyler Booker. At 12.
I don't know why it took so long.
I'm not a fan of Tyler Booker, probably because they saw the card and they said, "Are you sure, Jerry Jones? Are you sure you're not drunk?" He's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of that pick. But
How about them Cowboys?
We're gonna play Mike
odd.
Vrabel's press conference now. Maybe. Oh, my volume's down. It's the one that was streamed 15 minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll turn this up and here we go.
Those situations that we talked about a few weeks ago prior to the draft that we went through on Monday. And, this was a very, very easy pick for us.
Will, you spoke with him. Does he remind you of like a younger Mike Vrabel? How tough he is, aggressive?
No, I mean, we stay out of the comparisons and that.
He hated that question, bro. He did not like that question.
Player who cares deeply about the team.
I don't have. Oh, sorry, Cole. I don't have the video. It's just I'm playing it through my audio through here.
But to compare him to me or anybody else, no. I mean, but we love his football character, his play demeanor, his play style, how coachable he is, and a 21-year-old player that's started 38 of 40 games in the SEC is something that is impressive.
Mike, when and how did Will cement himself as the pick for you guys in this process?
Well, I mean, I think probably last week when Elliot and I and Ryan and a few others went down and spent time with him and worked them out, and then went and worked out a few more players the same day. And we made a circuit and And I think when we came back and we slept on it and had, the conversations about where it would be if he was on the board. And, I think probably then. Yeah, I mean, that's where he started, and he's a left tackle, and, that's what he's played. That's what he's, done. And so he'll come in here and he'll compete to be the left tackle, just like everybody else is going to compete for their spots. That's what we're trying to create here, is something that
Competition.
There's competition at every position, and that our players believe that the best players are going to play.
You said throughout this process that arm length wasn't a thing, wasn't a problem for you guys in terms of overall evaluation. When you met with Will, how comfortable have you been with him for the course of a year and kind of getting to know him, kind of understanding who he is as a player?
Everybody has a play style. Everybody has a skill set, and it's what you do within that skill set and the tricks that you learn in this business, and how you play and how you do your job, right? And so I think he's learned a lot of those, to play on the left side and to pass protect. And for a taller player, he sinks his hips in a run game and is able to stay attached in the pass game and widen the pocket and create the width of the pocket and get out on the perimeter. So, it's a total package, right? And if you drop back and you throw the ball 40 times in this league, it's tough sledding for anybody, right? Let me just tell you that, if it turns into a drop back passing game in the National Football League, it's going to be an issue for anybody. And when you talk about play style, it's, how is he going to be able to, create that and be able to for offensive linemen, it's so much about a reaction of resetting your hand, chopping the arm down, all these tricks of the trade that they use, and they have to be able to make great decisions.
Pause that for a sec, Chase.
Decision. So,
yep.
Adam Jones on WEEI tweeted a response to the video of Will Campbell crying.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
He said he could barely reach his eyes to wipe his own tears because his T-Rex arms.
What a hater, bro. What a hater. I wish actual Boston media were Patriots fans and didn't just shit on them for everything.
That's so funny though.
His body of work is out there on the left side against a lot of really good rushers. They're all going to get beat. Okay, so we can watch every time that a left tackle gets beat. They all get beat. I've been in this league for 25 years, and but I'm confident in how quickly he is able to process and change and have a lot of different pitches at such a young age.
Right, so I'm curious, you brought in Morgan Moses this offseason. How important is it now to have such a veteran kind of leader in the room at tackle, bringing in a younger guy in Will Campbell?
Well, the more leadership that we can have, the better. And I've appreciated Morgan since the time that I've known him personally. There's a lot of people around here in our building that had a high affinity for him, going through the free agency process. And, it became evident to me quickly that this was the type of person and player that we wanted on our football team. And he is going to help not only Will, but everybody else in that room and anybody else that will add through the course of 3 days. So I love everything that Morgan is about as a person, as a father, and he communicates with me. He's raising 3 boys, 3 young boys, and that's probably his most important job right now, and I would agree with that.
Do you talk to him at all during that process, though, about tackle and just what to look for specifically in terms of getting on the tackle or anything like that?
No, I mean, I have a pretty good idea. I think Elliot has a pretty good idea. I think Ryan and everybody else in our personnel department has a pretty good idea on what to look for when you're talking about offensive linemen. And but we value, again, we value all our players' opinions on things, and they all have them. Some are better than others.
There's been a lot of discussion about movement in the first round. Obviously, the Browns were able to find a deal at 2. Did you guys receive any offers for the 4th?
No. We I think at this point in time it was pretty quiet. I think we would have entertained anything that anybody offered us, but it was pretty quiet. I mean, I think everybody was going up for 2 players, and one was already there, and they didn't have to move, and the other team that wanted to get to 2 got there. So we would have been open, but excited to be able to get stay there and pick and get Will.
With the chips you have, with the extra third round pick, do you anticipate any aggressive move to try to get back in here?
I think if the right players are there, give us something to do tonight, so we're not just sitting there watching. And but just not to go up just to go up. So if somebody's there that we have rated at a great spot and a great value, I think then we could go back up. But we'll see as the draft goes on and who comes off the board, and whether we just sit there and wait till tomorrow.
If Will eventually has to move inside, is this a misevaluation this high in the draft at 4th overall?
I think that what we're focused on is where he's going to be tomorrow and the next day, and not what the misevaluation is. Like we coveted this player. This was a very good football player, and so I think part of the draft is adding great pieces and great players to your roster, which is what we did. So he hasn't even shown up here in Foxborough, and we're not going to talk about where he's going to play or what he's going to do.
Vrabel's got a little bill in him in interviews, bro.
Really speak for itself.
Yeah, at least he doesn't BS like last year.
In the community and most importantly on the field before we start talking about that. I just think that's not fair. I've never thought about that one time. We've watched every game that he's played, put a lot of work into this, and we're all excited and happy that he's here.
In terms of his character.
So just so you guys get a little update, the Dolphins took Kenneth Grant, interior defense lineman out of Michigan. That's a great pick for them. I would be shocked if freaking the Colts do not run to the stage with a Tyler Warren pick right here. That fits that system. A great inline blocking tight end that's going to help in the run game too with Anthony
Jonathan
Taylor. And then he can give you what you need in the passing game. Everyone was like,
Tyler Warren.
Yeah, everyone was like, Tyler Warren's going to go first Tyler Warren's going to be the first tight end off, and then Colson Loveland would make sense to the Colts, but the fit never made sense to me. This has got to be a dream for the Colts. I'd be shocked if this is not Tyler Warren. So we'll see here in a minute if that's what it is.
Are the picks taking longer?
They are. That pick just barely.
They just took him.
They just took him. There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Yes.
That was fast. Better. That's good. Thank you.
Yes.
If Tyler Warren was if he was still here at 20, I would start to think about that.
Yes, bro. That was a no-brainer for the Colts. No, there's no way that they even second guess that pick. They were sitting there praying. Chris Ballard sat last year and got freaking Jared Verse. And then now he sits and gets Tyler Warren. He's had some master classes in the first round the last couple of years. So good for them. That is a great pick for them.
Oh, there's a play demeanor. I'll just tell you this. When we went down there to work him out, he showed up with one purpose, and that was for us to pick him. From the time that we walked in the building to the time that we left and got on the plane, he had one objective, and that was to prove to us that he was the right player for us. I'll say that, and I can speak for everybody else that was there.
Mike, what is the I don't want to say what is the timeline for him, but with a young player at a premium position like that, how important is it to take your time in terms of his development to get him ready to eventually play left tackle?
He's going to be ready to play.
Just block your guy. When you talk about coming from they threw the ball a ton. Let's not kid ourselves. He had more drop back snaps than pretty much anybody else in college football. They threw the ball 50 times, and it wasn't RPOs like everybody else. So he's pass protected. He's run blocked. He's coming out of a pro system. The terminology, he's already been through it. I don't know how many times with our guys and with me, and I think it's going to be a quick learning curve as far as the scheme. And then again, there's going to be a learning curve and adjustment to everything that he does. But he's coming from a great program, one that's built similar to pro football. Football is very important to him, and but we'll also, just like every other player, we'll give them exactly what they can handle.
There's a report that you were involved in the workout last week. You threw a blocking pad on.
I love when he does this.
To be involved in that.
Wants to feel his power.
Report, and then I'll answer the question. Okay, well, Pete's Mr. College Football. Yeah, they all knocked me around pretty good. I realized
He
I'm
was
close
pissed
to
that that
50,
got out, bro.
and if that tape ever gets out, there's going to be people are going to have some problems. So
He's pissed, bro.
I hope that tape never sees the light of day. But I think it was important for me to get out there and feel them and feel every player that we evaluated at the line of scrimmage.
That's so
He's
funny.
so pissed, bro.
It's like, who the fuck outed me?
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, it's Pete Thamel. He knows everything about college. That's not really my problem."
That's funny.
Nothing surprises me in this league anymore. There's just distractions that are going to happen throughout our team with our season. They're unavoidable. So I hope no one ever says, "Hey, we want to eliminate distractions," because I would say that that's impossible. We just want to handle them the best that we can and be ready for them and be prepared for them.
How important is it to have the kind of
The only thing that would make me say it's not Mike Green is his off the field issues. So
yeah, it would be good Judon replacement though.
Would be. I think the other like James Pierce, but he has off the field issues too. Maybe they would look to go linebacker and like Jahad Campbell, or corner and Jahdae Barron. No one thought Jahdae Barron would fall this far, but yeah, we'll see. The off the field stuff for the top 2 pass rushers right now, in my opinion, might be the reason for their fall. But then also you have Jalen Walker, who someone asked about. Why is he falling? I kind of agree with what Boston GM said. I have him as a off-ball linebacker in the NFL, but his best tape was at edge. He's just too small to play that. So is he a tweener for some guys? If he falls far enough, is that a person in New England?
Might not know where to put him, kind of.
Yeah. You have to have a scheme. You have to have a certain plan for him, right? Like you're going to have to use him in a way. You can't just put him as a off-ball backer and let him do that every play because his best plays are on the line, but he also can't do that because of the size and stuff. So maybe if he falls enough, because there were rumors. I don't think it was ever in question that he would go at 4, but if they do like him enough and maybe he gets to 28, 29, 30, that might be another guy. It wouldn't be my first choice. I'm not in love with him. I think that adding Harold Landry, Spillane, and some of those guys that are that they
Spillane.
did, I don't know if I would love if that's who they moved up for, but he definitely brings a dynamic that could be fun.
So I think a Matthew Golden could go.
Illegal in the Turkey Bowl, guys. You can't do that in the Turkey Bowl.
I don't know. What do you think? Denver, Chargers, Green Bay.
Yeah, I could see. I could see. I wanted to say Seattle, but they were more looking like if Tet fell for a receiver.
Did you see that? Lockett is going to the Titans.
Yeah, he has 1 year deal, 1 year, $6 million or something.
Every old receiver goes to the Titans. All of them.
That's true.
Before they fall off a cliff. Like what? Like D-Hop, Julio, Randy Moss,
like Calvin Johnson or Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley, like yeah.
They snapped it to him, handed it to him, pitched it to him, screened it to him, sent him down the seam. In every different
yeah, I guess I would just if he goes at one of these picks in the early 20s, who else would be there that you would be interested in trading up for?
Say that again.
If Golden's off the board, and I know you don't love Golden, but who else would you be interested in trading up for in the back 10 picks?
Ibuka, I'd go up for Ibuka if he fell.
How high? Mid-20s?
I think if he gets to 24 and Minnesota's looking to acquire extra picks, that would be one that I would look at going there.
That seems like a prime spot to trade up if you're going to go grab a guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I guess Kansas City could want to trade out at 31, but that would be risky just saying he's there. LA at 26. I mean, a couple other positions. I mean, if you want to go get like a James Pierce, if Mike Green or James Pierce fall because of their off the field stuff and you trust that you can figure it out or you know that you can figure it out, they have the talent to be worth going up and getting. I don't know if I'd go up for Luther Burden. I think I would take him if he was there in the second,
falls, yeah.
But I don't know if I'd go up for him.
I wouldn't go up to 24, but I might be willing to move up in the second round, but
yeah,
maybe not into today. But if you move from like 38 to 34 or something
Yeah.
like that, like
I could see him going up for Jalen Walker, just all the reports that they liked him. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's my number one choice, but I think that he's just so unique in what he does in the NFL and how you can use him in a defense. And I think Mike Vrabel has the ability and has kind of the defensive mind to use him in a good enough way to make it worth going up and getting him. So
yeah,
a lot of the guys that I was really interested in going up for, not that it's going to happen anymore because they took Will Campbell, but like Josh Connerly or like the
Yeah.
Josh Simmons of the worlds because they were falling with injuries.
I wonder where he goes. Simmons, that's a big question for me.
I've mocked him a lot to the Cardinals. I think they could look to go there, but Cardinals, I would almost say that they want to stick and maybe go defensive line.
Dude, he's gonna fall right into the Chiefs' lap, and it's gonna be so frustrating. He's gonna come back and dominate and be healthy.
Trying to think. I mean, the Texans maybe. I think the Rams maybe. Yeah, it's interesting to see because they've said good things about his knee. Like the stuff came back that it was all positive, not like he was ready to practice, but there were no setbacks like there was with Cole Strange. So I don't know if the medicals were super, big of a deal. So Boston GM with the $4.99.
Appreciate it,
guys. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate all you guys being in here. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. We'll have we'll go live again tomorrow. We're not even close to being done today, but we'll go live again tomorrow. And then we'll have videos coming out, grading every pick and stuff. So, but yeah, we appreciate you being in here, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. We appreciate it. Looks like he asked a question, so I can go to. I think 28-32 would all move back. Yeah, I think they'd all be willing to. Typically, those teams at the end of the first are more willing because they have more flexibility. They're already good teams. They're okay to move back some picks if it's for a good value.
Yeah,
it's not like they have any high pressing necessities that necessarily. I mean,
and you look at like the Commanders currently don't have a third round pick because of the Marshawn Lattimore. So you could give them like, hey, we're going to give you 38 and one of our thirds, and now they have 38, 61, and say 77. Yeah, okay. I think that they might go running back, so maybe they just want to take like Travion Henderson, or if Omarion Hampton falls, maybe they want to go there. But that one would make sense. You look at the Lions also; they have all their pick. They have pretty much have one. They don't need that. I mean, Chiefs should have all theirs, right? They haven't made any trades to. Yeah, Chiefs have no 5th or 6th round picks, but you're not. I mean, so maybe you move with them, and then the Eagles. The Eagles have everything you need. But what
do you guys think about Hampton if he is available at the Patriots pick? Not
Omarion Hampton.
Yeah. What does that interest you at all?
I don't think he fits what they've said they've wanted.
No,
he's not. He can be a pass catcher, but I don't think he's elite at it. Super hard runner. I would rather take like a Quinshad Judkins or someone in like the 3rd if he were to fall, which would probably be a little bit too much of a slide for him. But like, I would rather take one of those running backs that maybe has a little more pass catching ability.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. It does seem like the pass catcher is more what they're looking for to fill that role.
The James White role.
Yeah. It feels like they believe in Ramondre enough at this point.
I can't believe this is these like last 5 picks.
They're so slow.
The Colts one was fast, but
the rest of them?
Yeah,
ever since the Cowboys, it's been so slow. I don't know what is happening.
Shadur to them with Kirk Cousins and
for
Michael Penix. Okay, the pick is officially in.
Yeah, boss GM. Every time you hear this kid speak, it makes you love the pick more. Like,
got me.
I don't know. You just it's cool to see somebody have that much emotion and just love for the game and stuff to be that excited. It's definitely excited. I mean, definitely exciting. Someone online said Falcons went over on Tom.
I think he meant time.
Oh, over on time.
It says the pick is in though. So Because if they go in, then it would have given who's 16 card. It would have given Arizona
Cardinals,
the pick.
yeah.
I don't think so because it says the pick is in.
Jalen Walker there falls over.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, Jalen Walker.
So
makes sense. I mean,
yeah.
If he's playing that kind of edge role, it depends how they're going to use him, but
yeah,
they needed help kind of either way.
That's good for Raheem Morris. Like he's got a good defensive mind too, and they needed edge, but they could have used off ball. What I said about Jalen Walker a couple times during this draft process is like he's the ultimate defensive guy because he's really going to fill two needs. I know he can only play one thing, but he's going to be a good off ball backer and he's going to give you pass rushing abilities better than most. So he kind of fills two needs there, although you're getting one guy, but the type of player is and what he's really good at can fit in multiple different roles for your defense. So, and Atlanta needed defense. I mean, they were, other than New England, I'm pretty sure they had like the least amount of sacks.
Boss GM, if there's somebody you could trade up for in the mid-20s, who would you prefer out of these guys that are projected to be around there? Also, Pat Scout, Jordan Schultz listed Jalen as a defensive tackle. Dude, Schultz has had a tough few months here.
That fight really rattled him.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jalen Walker, defensive end, Georgia.
That is going to be kind of exciting for him, staying in Georgia.
I mean, look.
Yeah, true. Atlanta. Yeah.
Enough to move.
Under my bed, but this one I got right. So, I mean, I thought there was a chance he could drift a little bit, and he fell right to the
All right, Boss GM says he'd sit, see who falls. Too much value in this draft. Scoring at 38. Okay.
Did you just hear that? They're comparing Jalen Walker to Dante Hightower. Yeah.
Yeah. That's would have been a fun fit for the Pats. Light Shadows stole my wife. I was missing the draft to pick her up and she glared at me. Hey, listen.
See, even she was mad at you.
Yeah. They got to understand that there's a few days a year, that you just can't miss. So, there's Uber, right? There's Uber. There's options.
And another front seven player.
Georgia just set the record. They have now had 8 D linemen and linebacker drafted in the first round since 2022. That's the most in a 4-year span.
Georgia is crazy.
Miami, when they were in their heyday, they had 7. So 01 to 04. Alabama from 17 to 20, which was the Dante Hightower years, right? No, he was like 14, wasn't he? He was like 12 or 14.
Yeah.
Who would have been Bama there? Like De'Aaron Payne, Quinnen Williams, all those. Okay. Cardinals. This is going to be interesting to see where they go here. Probably interior, but who's the best interior? Do they go tackle? I'd be happy. I'd be happy personally if they took Josh Simmons because I think I've said that a couple times. Like I mocked it. So like personally, that would kind of be one where I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't really care where he goes at this point because the Pats aren't taking him.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're moving Campbell to guard and
yeah.
Can you imagine Simmons, Campbell? You could put Campbell until Simmons is healthy, have him play tackle, and then slide him into guard and have Simmons.
Yeah.
Talk about fixing your O-line.
No more worry about John Abraham. Jalen Walker comes in, and maybe he's their new guy.
Okay. There's a member of the Ball Brotherhood. We welcome the Austin Ford to be.
They're at least making the call, so we at least know hopefully it's soon. Doesn't say pick is in on the TV broadcast.
I haven't seen a shot of Sanders, but
I saw one when the Saints were on the clock.
Yeah, makes sense. He's not. Steelers are taking him, or I don't know where he's going after that.
Someone will trade up for him if it gets. I think that there's a possibility that 2 more quarterbacks come off the board. I think someone could trade up for both Dart and Shedeur at some point in this draft. Like you look at the Giants,
like end of the first round, you get that 5th round option too. It's valuable for a quarterback. Yeah, I agree.
So you could see that.
What time did the first round end last year? Do you remember?
I don't remember now.
We're 2 hours in and we're not even halfway done.
I think that an hour of it's been the last 5.
I know that's like crazy. I just want to get to pick like 22.
Yeah, that's
and
when
then
you'll
it's gonna
start maybe
to be
seeing
like,
some reports.
are we coming up? You could replace Joe Miller. Force get him in 6th. Yeah.
Marvin Harrison on the backside.
Yeah.
Your ex-receiver. You got Trey McBride, a great tight end there with the Cardinals. And I'd love to have one of those.
Boston GM wants us to trade up for Shadur or Dart, is what he's saying right here.
Yeah, I don't think he means us. Yes, I agree. Like we just kind of mentioned, Sanders, Dart, Ariante Ursary for tackle needy teams. I was kind of in the same boat as you, Jace, hoping that you get Hunter or Carter, and then there's some guys you can trade up for tackle in the back end of the first and get that option as well. Walter Nolan.
There you go. That makes sense for them too. I like that pick. My prediction coming into this class was, or coming into this draft, was that there will be 4 interior defensive linemen taken. There's already been 3 taken. We just need Derek Harmon, which I believe he will come off the thing. My nightmare scenario is that Derek Harmon goes to the Chiefs and you get him and Chris Jones together. And then eventually once the Chiefs are moving on from Chris Jones or he's retiring, that's what would scare me. So
yeah, that would not be fun.
But honestly, like the Chiefs, if you look at their offensive line, it's really not as bad as people say it is. So
no, it's not.
They have Creed Humphrey and
but
Trey
they
Smith.
could use a tackle.
They could. But they drafted Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU last year, who we were high on for the Patriots, and everyone knew he was going to be a developmental guy. Came out probably a year early, but he had a high evaluation. So maybe he develops into something. They also have Jawan Taylor at right tackle, but they have Wanya Morris, who they took out of Oklahoma in like the 3rd round, in the 3rd round just a couple of years ago. So I think they have guys that they could feel confident in.
Yeah, that's true.
But I agree with you. I think they could use if they want to talk themselves into it. So I could see Cincinnati taking Mike Green right here. This would make sense for me, Mike Green right here.
Yeah, Jaden at 38. Be intrigued. It's that free safety role. Is it Makuba? The
Andrew Makuba from Texas?
Yeah, Texas safety.
Yeah.
He seems like good fit too. Yeah,
So
the free safety role hasn't been.
Yeah. So I love Nicky Mawari, but I actually disagree that he's a free safety. I think he's better the closer he is to the line. He is a freakish athlete, and they get the Kyle Hamilton comps all the time, but I'm putting this guy in the box. I'm letting him fit. I'm letting him blitz. I'm letting him play zone. I don't know if I see him as a free safety. Xavier Watts, I think, can be a free safety out of Notre Dame. I think Andrew Makuba can be a free safety out of Notre Dame, but I think that Imawari and Kevin Winston out of Penn State are the 2 best box guys because they're good tacklers. They're a little bit bigger in frame than some of those other guys. So I would like Imawari, but I would play him as like a strong safety box guy. There's no way he falls, though. There's no way. That dude's an alien, and the NFL someone's going to take a chance on him because of his testing numbers and how big he is. So I'd be shocked.
No more T-Rex jokes. Don't want to say it to Campbell's face. Well, Jace said he's wearing a T-Rex costume training camp. Just saying it to his face. You missed that. So if you want
That's my brother, bro.
I want to see Jace get pummeled in person, come to Pat's training camp this year.
You know why I'm so high on freaking Will Campbell is because he's my brother.
That's true. Yeah.
Literally.
Oh.
Jace Campbell. Oh. He's Will Campbell.
No, I know. I just forgot that. I saw the on the clock. You changed it. I was confused. A lot of cornerback value falling. Yeah, I guess Will Johnson really might be falling.
Yeah.
You think if one of those guys ended up being, I don't think that Patriots there'd be any way just with all the corner that they have. I mean, paying to do 20-something million, and then you also got Gonzalez, and so
yeah.
But yes, there is corners falling.
NFL schedule will be released soon.
Again.
We are ready for the new era here. It is
So Walter Nolan went 16th overall.
One of many revenge games.
O line again. And picked number 2.
They'll go offensive line again at some point.
Yeah, they'll probably pick a guard later.
Yeah,
Maybe a
right
maybe a
tackle.
developmental tackle.
Guy to
for
sit behind
right
Morgan
tackle.
Moses. Yeah.
Caden Wallace.
Hey, maybe he just worked out. The corners, when could the corner start coming off? Tampa Bay could take a corner, but I also think Tampa Bay could take like Donovan Ezaraku. The Chargers could take a corner. The Packers could take a corner. If Shamar Stewart's there, the Packers would probably take him. That's a guy they just draft a freak. I could also see the Packers taking, especially with the Jair Alexander. I think with the Jair Alexander kind of situation, they could look at taking one of those. Like if Will Johnson fell there, geez, could you imagine?
What's going on there? Did he request a trade or?
I thought he requested one, and it's kind of been quiet, but there was at one point in the offseason he requested a trade.
Yeah, I think you're right. Shamar Stewart, Cincy.
He's a freak, bro. The production is not there yet, but he's a freak.
So somebody said, I think it was Boss GM said Seattle was expected to go with Golden if he falls. Replace Lockett. And DK.
I could see it.
Different
That
player.
would have made so much sense for them. Like,
DK.
could you imagine this like the DK replacement, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, not as good as DK, but
no. He's gonna be better than DK.
Pickens is
DK
apparently available, right? He unfollowed the Steelers on Instagram.
Pickens?
Yeah. We don't need him and Diggs.
I don't know, man.
They traded for DK. They're like, we can't have 2 divas on this team. We got to get him out of here. Oh, geez. Yeah, we can't have that. Another good football player on the Patriots getting arrested for murder.
Yeah. The Patriot way is no longer.
Yeah. And then who's going to be on the podcast? Who's going to be doing these mock drafts?
Which brings, we'll see what they do, but which brings us to number 18, Seattle. My understanding is the Seahawks are interested in getting out of this pick, certainly open to trading back. The Steelers, who visited with Shedeur Sanders, a very positive visit. They are right there. So this could be the window if you have some teams, maybe the Giants, maybe a quarterback needed team, we don't know, maybe the Rams, come trades up over the Steelers to try to get Shedeur Sanders, something to watch for over the next couple minutes.
Well, this tracks also with your mock draft, DJ. Last night, your call was that the Giants would trade back into 18 with Seattle as a trade partner for Jackson Dart.
That was going to say the only caveat was it wasn't for Shedeur, it was for Jackson Dart. So who knows?
Interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
And with a lot of their needs, they marry up well on day 2.
Someone tweeted this and said Browns. Oh, it was Antonio Brown. He tweeted Browns front office making that trade. He tweeted the draft day one.
No.
Sonny Weaver Jr. at it for the
I
Browns.
just watched that movie for the first time like a month ago.
Oh my gosh. Did you like it?
Yeah.
It's definitely a little unrealistic. Like,
I mean, yeah. Like,
second round pick is because
that's
what the Steelers coughed up.
yeah, that would never happen in real life, but it was a good movie.
On our radar screen with Seattle now on the clock. The Steelers at 20.
I just couldn't believe I hadn't seen it yet, and it came out on Netflix for free.
So good.
Gotta watch that.
It's great. All right. Well, we know who the Bengals take, but we'll let the commissioner talk a little bit. Oh.
What?
He just stopped, walked back, and looked at someone. They told him not to go. Oh, he was waiting for the band to be done playing Sweet Caroline.
Have to. It's a great song.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Shamar Stewart, defensive end, Texas A&M.
Yeah, not a surprise to see him go defense here. This defense last year.
Could you imagine if they went like Matthew Golden? They're just like, he's too good to pass. we got to get him with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah, let's just keep adding to this offense. Greedy.
That is a massive chain this dude has on. Holy crap. Are you watching it?
I'm behind you.
Watch
I may or
when
may not be using crack streams.
No one. If Cole automatically lags out or he gets swatted, we know why.
Yeah, I'm definitely not using it. So
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, good. No, he's not using it. Don't get mad at him.
don't call the police. Yeah, that is a large chain.
What is it, like a snake or a gorilla?
I can't tell.
I couldn't tell either.
I don't
Light
see
shadows. I don't see us trading up.
Well, I hope you're wrong, good sir. Potential targets for the Patriots to trade back up. Matthew Golden, Igbuka, Higgins.
I don't know if I love Jaden Higgins. I don't know if I trade up for him back into the first unless they just absolutely knew he was going to be gone, right? Like if you trade up and take Jaden Higgins, I would want like Ibuka to not be there. If you trade up and you have Ibuka and some of those guys on the board, it would be a little bit tougher for me to sell Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
Although I have Jaden Higgins as 24 on my big board.
So it would make sense.
I mean, and again, I when I make this big board, it's how, like, I'm not saying he's going to be the 24th overall pick, but I think that he's
just your 24th best player.
Yeah, like I have him above Matthew Golden, but I honestly wouldn't be shocked if Matthew Golden's taken over him, just how the NFL views things. It's just my rankings. I do like Higgins. He would just give you the X receiver. Like he gives you the big body that's really good at releases. His feet are insane. He has like a 2% career drop rate. But then again, you could say, hey, Matthew Golden, everyone says he's a great router like Stephon Diggs. Well, let's let him learn from Stephon Diggs.
Exactly. That'd be a fun pairing. The vet and the rook. Thoughts on Hendricks now on the block? I mean, he was on the block and then he wasn't. They just were asking for such a ridiculous price. I don't know.
Anybody who already made the playoffs, AFC
did not want to deal with.
I think they still needed another edge guy. So I think if they can work something out to keep him, I think it'd be good for them. It's just tough with all the money on the books to make everybody happy when you're paying so many receivers.
Do on that side, and Al Golden, who's spent time at the professional level as well as in college, developing these young guys is going to be a key part of their success.
Well, Tampa's on the clock. Seattle may have wanted to trade out, but they didn't. Their pick is
so Seattle's pick is in. They didn't trade out.
Short order.
Okay.
And it looks like Jamie Erdahl is ready. Jamie.
So let's hope it's not Golden here.
Jamar, you are laser focused in this moment. Is this the kind of intensity you're bringing to a Bengals?
What do you think? Who do you think the pick is?
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Some people done messed up.
Some people done messed up. Sorry.
What's making you upset about the moment that you have right now?
Nothing.
They need a line too. Like they could go like a Gray Zabel, interior offensive lineman. He played
biggest
tackle.
needs here is guard, center, edge, according to PFF.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they're. I guess we could say we trust Boss GM. Maybe they do.
Gray Zabel.
Gray Zabel. Boom.
Did you do your own mock draft, like full, or did you guys do a combined one? I know you.
No,
did
we did
some
a combined one.
ones. Okay.
I should have done my last one.
Yeah, you should have.
I didn't even think of that. That was cheap.
So far, I'm 18 for 18 on mine.
Oh yeah, are you writing it in as they go?
Yes. Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
So I mean, I'll be honest. If I'm going off the last mock draft that we did together, I did the even picks. So I'll tell you this. This isn't saying much. I picked Travis Hunter. Obviously, it was at pick 2. It wasn't for it wasn't for the Jaguars. It was for them.
Yep.
We got the top 4 picks correct. Top 5, top 6. We got the top 6. No, we did not get the top 6 picks. We had Membu going to the Raiders, so we missed that one. We had Banks going to the Jets, so we missed that one.
You did no trades, right?
Yeah, we did no. Oh, actually, no, we did do trades. We did do trades because we traded.
In the end.
Yeah, we traded in the end, and then we did trade back up with the Giants. I've been on Tedero McMillan being to the. I've said it at least 2 or 3 times on that podcast, just because give Bryce Young a guy. So I was on that one. We did not. I forget who we had the Saints picking. Michigan, or sorry, the Bears. We had Genty going to the Bears at 10. I think we had Kenneth Grant going at 11. Dallas, we had We did not have Tyler Booker, I can tell you that, because both of us are not high. We had Kenneth Grant going to the Dolphins. We had Tyler Warren going to the Colts. I'd have to pull up the exact one, but I mean, I think we're not batting 100, obviously, but
That is true. I mean, they do got a decent amount of guys on the edge there. Sanders, yes, I do think he's going to be in the first round still. Back end or here. If he's not here to the Steelers, somebody's trading up, I would assume. Unless the whole league is really just that low on Sanders. I'm honestly surprised that he fell this far.
That'd be crazy.
Talk of potentially going top 3.
They keep Cross and Luke is healthy, shore up the interior.
It's kind of like a couple years ago, Will Levis. Right? Everyone was like, oh, yeah, that class. No, not really.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. So we had Jalen Walker going 9 to the Saints. We had Will Johnson going to the Niners. We had Kenneth Grant going to the Cowboys. Who do we have the Dolphins taking? Jahdae Barron, so he's still on. We got the Warren pick correct. We had Mike Green going to the Falcons.
Stress out. I'll never remember all this. Relax, bro.
We had Shamar Stewart going to the Bengals. Had that one. We had Jahad Campbell going to the Seahawks, but Campbell is falling. He's a top 10 player for me, Jahad Campbell, but he's falling because he had labrum surgery after the combine. So that's why Jahad Campbell's falling. Who do we have? We had the Bengals taking, or sorry, the Bucks taking Ezeraku right here. I can definitely see them taking Ezeraku. I could see them taking a chance on Jahad Campbell right here too, even though he's hurt and some teams might be a little concerned. I can see the Bucks going Ezeraku, Jahad Campbell, or they could take a corner too. I think they need corner help.
Courtyard's official fan ambassador has opened a new world for me. Now we get to hang out with them.
It's Cal Canardi's going against.
Wait, what?
Just look at the kick step. And the other thing about him is he knows.
See you on game day.
He knows how to time his punch. Like he's played with short hands his whole career. He knows how to time his punch.
Yeah.
So doesn't mean that, he can't get beat, but yep, Trevor Sikkema does want him for them. So I'm going to stand on business in my mock draft we did together. I think Jace is capping. Go look at it. It's called the Draft Geeks podcast. It's on here. I'll show you it right now. It's
Carter,
when I started.
Which Sanders are you talking about? Shadar?
Right here, Light Shadows. This is a new one I'm doing with another guy that's just all NFL draft. So you can go watch that mock draft. But the next 2 picks, I'll stand on business. Donovan Ezeraku to the Bucks. Amari and Hampton is what we had to the Broncos.
That's a good fit.
Stand on business right there. Say it.
It's a good fit.
But also, the Bucks on the clock, we didn't have Jahad Campbell. We didn't have Jahdae Barron. We didn't have some of those guys. So a little bit different.
Jace, he's calling you out. He's telling you you're full of shit.
I'm sorry.
Bucks are not trading. They're picking.
Yep, pick is in. Wow.
Ooh.
You're shitting me.
Who is it?
Emeka Ibuka. What? They just re-signed Godwin and they have McMillan. What?
What?
Oh my gosh.
Where are you seeing this?
It's on PFF. I have the draft trackers really good.
Oh my God. What in the world? With Jalen McMillan too.
That's what I'm saying. You have Jalen McMillan, who's really good, and you just re-signed Chris Godwin to a 3-year deal.
Yeah, how can you bye Godwin if you just re-signed him? What in the world is that? That room is stacked.
soon be over for him. And
Oh my, that pisses me off, bro. That pissed me off because I just made a dynasty trade for Jalen McMillan. He was included in that trade. Gosh.
Aren't you glad that we didn't trade for McMillan in the other league?
Now I am. I thought there was still a role for McMillan, right? You can use 3 receivers on the field, especially with Baker, how much they throw the ball. But a Ibuka, a Mecca Ibuka,
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I got to go to PFF and see what Trevor's saying. Godwin's ankle. But if Godwin's ankle was so bad, they wouldn't have given him a 3-year deal.
Yeah,
There's no way
just
they
extended
signed
him.
There's no way they extended him to that big of a deal.
Nobody knows
knowing
his ankle better than the Bucks. You know what I mean? They
Yes.
know the
There's
condition
no
that
way.
he's in. They wouldn't have extended him if it was that bad.
Apologies, Jason. I'm capping.
Oh, what in the world, man? That's frustrating. Like, save some receivers for the rest of us. Come on.
Dude, them and the Bengals can screw off.
For real.
Well, we'll listen to it right now.
Here we go. Last pick in the teens.
With the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Emeka Ibuka, wide receiver, Ohio State.
And the Ohio State has entered the chat. The 2024 champs see their first player selected.
Yeah, I don't know, boss
And it's
GM.
Emeka
I don't know
Ibuka
what the
going
reasoning
to
is behind
Tampa.
it. Maybe you're right.
Jason
I
White's been there
just
for a
feels
long
weird
time. His
to
first
extend a
pick
guy that you're
as
worried
general
about.
manager in Tampa was Mike Evans. This is the next wide receiver that he's taken in the first round. It's been a
I
minute.
don't get it.
Big time tracking, big time hands. He is
Yeah.
ultra
Godwin to New England talks
instinctive
again.
and tough. You see him here with the ball in his hands.
Trade
He can
him.
make you miss. He has played around
Whatever.
so many great
We
players.
get him for
at
$8 million
Ohio
less a
State.
year than we were
He's
gonna
not
pay him.
afraid to do the dirty
Wow.
work.
I
He's
mean,
not selfish. You
that
see
makes
him as
no
a lead
sense to me.
blocker.
Does it
Just
make any
look at
sense
how
to you?
physical and tough he is. I saw the Bucks live, as you I know did as well, CB. That's one of the more physical teams in the NFL. He's going to fit right in.
So see this lineage right here: Olave, Wilson, Smith and Jigba, Harrison Jr., Ibuka. You know why it was important for Ibuka to go back for a senior year? Yes, to go and maybe right the wrongs and
Why
win a national championship, but it was also important to him.
would you be mad as a Bucks fan? Like, you can't be mad. He's a good player. But with 3 solid receivers and a need for like corner and edge rusher, and the guys that were still on the board at those positions,
Will Johnson or something, or
oh,
Mike
it
Green.
seems. What's Godwin's contract like? Is there an out?
3 years, 20.
It's 3 years, 66 million, so 22 a year.
Yeah.
There's
that would make no sense.
There's a
to-
club option after 2 years. So he can play in 25 and 26, and you're assuming in 25 he's coming off the ankle injury. You don't know. He can play in 2026 when he's 30, but it's a club option in 2027, so they can choose to cut him there, and it would be where's my dead cap? It would be, holy shit, it would be a $16 million dead cap hit if they did that. What? Wow.
They don't want to get off the gas. Josh Grizzard's the new offensive coordinator. They want to stay on it. And adding Ibuka allows them to do that.
Boston GM, let's rationalize this. Wide receiver is super thin this year. The end of need and super deep this year. Maybe they have a corner they like late. I don't get it. I get that receiver's thin, but just because receiver's thin doesn't mean that you take Emeka Ibuka.
Do you have Twitter up on to play audio?
I can pull it up.
Okay.
You want me to pull something up?
Yeah. Go to @BaldyNFL. He just posted a Will Campbell breakdown thing. I wanted to.
It's on Twitter or is it on YouTube?
On Twitter. I'm gonna
let me
screen and play the video at the same time you play the sound.
Oh shoot. Wait, just try doing it on yours first because YouTube might work. It might have been, or sorry, Twitter might work. They might have just done YouTube because of copyright issues. That might be it again.
Tell me if you can hear it.
Nope. Okay. Damn it! I have to sign in. I'm not signed in. Sorry, I'm trying to send it to myself on my. Who posted it? Matt?
Baldy. Baldy NFL is the Twitter. Brian Baldinger.
Oh, yeah. That's a minute 23, right?
22 for me, but yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Tell me before you play it, the volume.
I'll make sure I can. This is so stupid, bro. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in on my. One sec.
It's so dumb that we can't just have the audio play. Barron, the cornerback from Texas to Denver.
Wow. Wow. They have him and Surtain. That's crazy. Let's see if mine works. This is just me on my computer.
Will Campbell came out of high school. Will Campbell came out of high school in Monroe.
You can't hear it.
I can hear it.
Campbell
You
came
can?
out of
Yeah. What in the world?
Will Campbell
Put that full screen.
out of high school in Monroe, Louisiana. All you want to do is be a Tiger. And here he is as a freshman going up against Will Anderson Jr., the defensive rookie of the year when he was with the Texans. And all he did was just stick him right in the chest, drop an anchor right there. But it was everybody. Everybody he went up against. He started every game from age 18, like he is right there. You watch him right here, and here it is. Like you watch him, and he just stays attached because his feet are so good. His feet just keep moving, and he stays between Jaden Daniels and Will Anderson. Well done. All right? It didn't matter who he went up against. Like Will Campbell came to play every single game. Like here he is. Like here he is against Dallas Turner, right? Dallas Turner, first round pick, the Minnesota Vikings. Bam. Look at the arms. Like, okay, he's got the long arm, but he can still stop it because look at his hands and his feet. He wins with his feet. Will Campbell. Like you pick a guy that he went up against, and all you do is see him win. One time after Will Anderson. Watch him stay on his feet. Most would lose contact right here. All right. Like here he is. He stays with them. All right. They missed the pass right there. And he just rides them. He just stays on. He stays attached the whole way. Jaden Daniels right there makes the throw.
Love Baldy. He's got some good breakdowns. Oops.
West Virginia. Let's see
I
what
wonder why mine does not work.
What the heck?
With the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Barron, DB, Texas.
So the 10th player on your top picks is the 20th overall selection. High quality value for a terrific player.
Yeah, he was my highest rated
Harmon
player there.
to the
My top
Steelers.
corner, the
No
first corner to
Shadur.
come off the
That's a great bro. That's awesome. I was big on Harmon. He was actually 23. Sorry, I'll turn this down. He was 23 on my big board. I had him a little bit ahead of Nolan just because of some of the off the field stuff and the inconsistencies in Nolan. But so what?
Yeah.
Abuka went 19. Who went 20?
Barron to the
Barron,
Denver.
Jade Barron.
Steelers pass on Sanders falling into their laps and take Harmon.
They learned from taking I like that Harmon pick. Zabel went 18. Zabel went 18.
Bills fans are pissed. Yeah. Wow. I got a buddy I work with who's a Steelers fan who was hoping Sanders falls or they take somebody here.
So
quarterback.
I'd be shocked if someone doesn't trade up for him with him falling past the Steelers. Someone's got to be aggressive and trade up for him.
I'm just shocked that he fell to 21 and they didn't take him still.
Yeah.
So the league must not like Sanders.
Yeah.
Did as good a job of anybody against Jeremiah Smith in Ohio State, and now with this defense, which was I thought a very good
Chargers. Who are the Chargers going to go with?
They just got better with Jade Barron.
Receiver? Matthew Golden here? He'd fit
Hopefully
good next to
not.
McConkey, bro. He'd fit good next to Ladd.
The wide receiver is the top need for 3 out of the next 4 teams on PFF.
Yeah, I could see Matthew Golden coming off here, Green Bay, or even he could come off at Houston. But Houston needs some O-line. I would look for a trade out pick right there. If they keep falling, we'll see that.
Is Shedeur Sanders on
Yeah.
the end of the line? I mean, that is basically the question of this draft. If Shedeur wasn't going to go 3rd overall to the Giants or 9th overall to the Saints, then
Yeah,
would he
Golden's
go
is a fit for the
Pittsburgh? I don't know if
Chargers.
this is a live shot or not.
I think
There's
they could-
also a lot of edges that have fallen here. Edge.
Best
Mike
available right now
Green.
on PFF. Malachi Starks, Mike Green, Jihad Campbell's still available.
Just I think it's that shoulder.
Oh yeah, that's right. Will Johnson, Luther Burden, Azaraku, Simmons, James Pierce Jr. He had off the field, right? Pierce.
James Pierce has some off the field, yeah.
Yeah. Matthew Golden, Hampton. Let's see. Would you take
highest rated defensive tackle that's still out there right now.
And you could see, again, the players that are in your top 20 that are
These
still
rankings?
The Steelers fan on the screen right now is he wants Shedeur so bad.
you think Dart goes first round?
Does that say that they feel like they know they're getting Aaron Rodgers?
At the way it's going right now, it's looking thin.
Yeah.
I don't know if 2 teams will trade up for quarterbacks. Shit, Cleveland could just stick and pick him at 33, or the Giants could take him if they pass. You know, if one of those teams trades up, the other one could just take him at 33. So I don't know.
His strengths and weaknesses lined up with Shedeur's strengths and weaknesses as a player. They took
Would you take
a ride
Noel?
on that roller
Where would you
coaster
take
in
Noel?
this
Would you take him at?
draft. I don't know that they're going to do that again.
It depends on who's on the board.
If he's the last receiver as far as that like top, you know what I mean? Like Golden's gone.
The 2025 NFL Draft.
Oh.
The Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon, defensive tackle.
The fans are pissed.
Yeah, I would be too. Chiefs want Connerly. That wouldn't surprise me.
Steelers go and take a duck for
Athletic tackle.
So receiver rankings, I mean, assuming Burden, Golden are gone, and Higgins, I actually have Jalen Royals a little bit ahead of Jalen Knoll, so I would probably put those 2 in my next category. Trey Harris and Kyle Williams, I think, would come into play right there. Also, just depending on what, like I said, what the receiver board looks like, and if they have confidence, they could get one of them at 69. So if the top 3 guys remaining, Higgins, Burden, Golden, are on the board, Royals Knoll would be number 1, but Trey Harris is a little bit bigger receiver, and Kyle Williams gives you yard after the catch. So
he's risen a lot, huh?
Who?
Knoll? Kyle.
Oh, Kyle Williams. Yeah, Kyle Williams has risen a lot. Tested good, and he's really good after the catch, but I don't know. He's an interesting one. Just smaller. He's only 182, and he's not even 5'10". Like, he's 5'10" and a quarter, sorry, so he's a little bit over. Physicality at the catch point is what I would struggle with. Like, he doesn't play through contact well. He has 21 drops in 5 seasons, so he's an older prospect, and he's dealt with drop issues. Like, that's a little bit of a concern right there.
Yeah.
If you're a young guy, I could maybe see it, but when you've played 5 years of college football and you're going into the draft at what's his official age? His official age is 22 and a half, so it'll be 23, which is actually pretty young for 5 years of college football. But yeah, those are.
Explore hand-picked hotels through the edit and unlock upgraded stays.
Come on, Chargers.
With Chase Sapphire Reserve. Make more of what's yours.
This is Roundup for Lawns. This stuff works. This stuff kills weeds.
I feel like Chargers nail the draft every year. So
this stuff works on dandelions, crabgrass.
Recently.
This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works
At
guaranteed.
least their top picks.
This stuff works.
I also, let me say this before it happens. I could see the Chargers taking Amari Hampton right here.
Now we get to hang out with NFL fans all season long.
They just re-signed Dobbins, right? But that's a year, and he's got a bunch of injury history. So
Yeah.
See you on game day.
It's always football season at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Freaking commercials.
I know. Their pick isn't even in it says.
It's not?
It still says it's 5 minutes left on the clock.
That includes a visit from the new Hall of Fame class.
Light Shadows wants to know if Waterboy is still an option for day 2, 3.
Featuring Diamond certified rock band Nickelback.
Waterboy.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Bobby Boucher?
No. Who was it? We were talking about it a stream a while ago. Somebody looked like the Waterboy.
First check
Somebody looked like you too, right?
Where you're planning to stay.
Who was it?
I briefly remember that, but I have no clue who it was.
Light Shadows. Who was that?
Cole, the guy said he sent that to your email if you want to check that.
Oh.
Wake up call. Everywhere you go with Marriott Bonvoy shapes you, making you the greatest souvenir of all.
I should probably post that right now, huh?
Yeah, and Adam as a collaborator.
Technology as innovative as it is effortless. These are luxuries you don't.
Or just tag him. Which one?
This is Buick. Now, Buick, exceptional by design.
Either one's
Get 0.9% APR and no monthly
As long as it has put the watermark on it.
Yeah, let me just throw the logo on real quick.
Get up to
Yeah.
3,000 allowance.
That's fire.
What? Yeah, I'll see it once you post it. Let me know once you post it so I can take a look.
Should I?
The Chargers have less than 4 minutes to make their selection. Then it'll be the hometown team. It'll be quite the
He said just tag is fine. Did you send the money?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Is it? Does he have his thing?
I'll get it. I'll get it, and you can just look in the chat, and then I'll get it to you.
I don't even know if I need to retouch it.
That guy on the right. I don't know what's happening there. I mean, there's the Gimp. Is that the Chargers Gimp? I don't know. But the Charger faithful getting ready to hear all this. And the inner circle in Green Bay, okay, hosting
cheap perfume.
First responders, and thank goodness for them. And what they did in January, the heroic work to save lives and homes and communities. So here we go. Here's the Chargers with their pick. A lot of
Still 2 minutes. Come on, Jim.
You look at your top players available, and there's a ton of players that have top 20 grades on them.
I'm praying for Amari and Hampton right here.
And Jim Harbaugh to choose from.
Yeah, I had him taking Travion Henderson in the mock draft, even though they brought in Najee Harris. Thought it'd be a nice compliment, kind of a thunder lightning thing there for the
Oh, they
Chargers.
brought in
But
Najee.
you
You're
look at some of
right.
these other guys that are available. Matthew Golden
Oh, yeah.
on the outside at receiver. But the other one I'm staring at, You think that Jesse Minter and company are familiar with Will Johnson,
I
who
was
has
just
kind of
Oh.
slid down, and it's proof of concept. They've seen him in their defense.
I could see the Rams taking a chance on Shedeur. I thought that there was a possibility they would take a chance on Dart because Jackson Dart probably, well, both of them will benefit from sitting for a year or so. But, man, if you put one of those guys behind Stafford, that's pretty nasty too.
They saw his best football a couple of years ago. That'd be interesting.
Ian Rappaport with some knowledge as to why they're taking it down to the end here. Less than 2 minutes to go, Ian.
First of all, as far as the Chargers go, they are receiving incoming calls about teams potentially trying to trade with them. We'll see what that ends up being. I want to address the Will Johnson thing. You guys mentioned there were injury concerns throughout this process. From what I understand, he had a knee situation that got red flagged, concerns about his longevity. That is why he has fallen. Not as much the speed thing, more the concerns about his knee.
Well, coming off of the national championship season, folks were talking about a top 5 pick for Will Johnson.
Well, if he was healthy, he would have been.
Right.
Wouldn't you? Would you agree with that?
Been up there. Well, I mean, to me,
That makes sense about the fall a little bit, the injury.
Wise, you know, the man-heavy teams. Okay, maybe he's not a fit for us. The Chargers, when it came to man percentage last year, was only they were like 30th in terms of playing.
Pick still isn't in. There might be a trade right here.
He can see everything, drive and make plays on the football, which he's incredible at.
Well, you call their games on the radio.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was in that stadium in Houston when they lost to the Texans, and McConkey went off, but I just felt like they needed some more speed weapons for Justin Herbert. They've got to give him more options, guys who can win when you're going to see a defense like the Texans who can kind of lock you up. They need more than Lad McConkey. So that speed can come in the way of a tight end. That speed can come in the way of a back out of the backfield, but that speed can come on the outside of receiver.
Remember, they lost Josh Palmer, big target. They brought back Mike Williams, but you don't know exactly what juice you have left in him. So the speed makes sense that DJ is talking about right there.
They're on the phone, man. Are they trading this out?
Will Johnson, they know people, but it's not just Michigan guys. It's all the people that they've coached on the staff, guys who know players. They don't mind bringing in those guys.
Well, the Chargers have taken this down to the final seconds, and that didn't look like a phone call, a celebratory phone call with whoever they were.
I think they traded this, man.
So, I don't know. The Chargers are still on the clock for some reason. No, Green Bay now is. So we're gonna.
Green Bay.
The fans just.
Green Bay's behind them.
Okay, you're right.
I mean, Matthew Golden is still in that.
I mean, he's the fastest wide receiver. I mean, that 40 was incredible.
My 3 top offensive players, skill guys, you've got Omarion Hampton, the running back. You've got Matthew Golden, the wide receiver. And then you look at the tight end is Mason Taylor from LSU.
Oh, that was another one I saw as a shock. I think it might have been McShay.
Marion Hampton.
Let's go. Hit it on the head. Let's go.
Interesting.
Yes. Let's go, Jace. Yes.
Yeah, he's an off-the-ball linebacker. Some believe
That's good for the Patriots. That makes me happy as a analyzer, scout, whatever the hell I am. Part-time scout.
I love him. I just don't know for them.
Not even part-time. You have to get paid to be part-time. I'm just a bum.
And similar to Will Johnson, there was
Has access to some film and
flags
watches
thrown
it.
up about the injury situation.
So I currently have
the dude's name. Does that? What is it?
There, so I think that's why
DS.
Got it.
You got it. So there's currently 3 players in my top 10 that are still available. Will Johnson, Malachi Starks, Jahad Campbell. Now, 2 of them have injury concerns. Jahad Campbell, Will Johnson, Malachi Starks is playing safety, which the concern there is probably just, the value of a safety. But that dude's a good football player, so we'll see where those guys go.
That's what it feels like here. You got a lot of places to go. Who do we have top of our board? That's who they go get.
Here comes the commissioner with the pick, and after this, there's only 10 more picks tonight, meaning only 10 more draft picks with a 5th year of contractual control that goes along with it. Something to keep in mind with only 1 quarterback off.
So Green Bay Golden makes sense here.
Yeah, it
With
does.
the 22nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion Hampton, running back.
Yeah. I think we've mocked that a couple times too. That might have been one that we mocked for the Draft Geeks too. I got to go double check that one now.
Look, you remind me of Jonathan Taylor. You see this big back get out in the
Nope,
open.
we had him Broncos.
Absolutely go. You see the size He is a big, physical, punishing runner. A lot of times you have to sacrifice with that. You'll get somebody who's maybe a little bit tight, someone who lacks the home run speed. He's got some wiggle to go along with all that strength and power as you just watch him run through contact down after down. He was involved in productive.
You didn't send it to him, right?
They've
No.
got two backs now with him and Najee Harris that can catch the ball. He's just got a lot more top speed.
Want to make sure before I.
But
We double down.
He's always going to want to pound the rock, guys. And now he's got a stable of backs, and they are big, punishing runners.
And Joel, you know him very, very well. You know Harbaugh and what he likes to do. That line has been built up all
right, I
last
just
year.
sent it.
Makai Becton
Cool.
free agency this year. Now you
I
have
will
this
get it to you right now, too.
The blueprint he used at San Diego and San Francisco and Stanford and Michigan. It's going to be the same blueprint, guys. You know, and blueprint
I just
this
threw a
is
caption
back that is
up there. I don't
versatile.
know what
He's
you
a
think.
workhorse player. He had 25 touches in 8 different games last year. He's a really dynamic player.
The 1940 draft was held in December of 1939.
Who's the number one pick?
In Milwaukee.
Do you know the number one pick was?
Okay.
One George Bad News.
Was it 80?
University of Tennessee.
Do you have
Total, right? Total?
Yeah.
Okay, I just sent it.
Kafka was on the staff at Tennessee when I played there.
The reason why I mentioned
You got any
all this
caption idea for it? I just threw it up.
Tennessee, although
I think that's fine.
Understood.
Maybe.
It's because it was
Yeah, I don't know.
last time there was a draft
Drake May's best friend.
in the state of
I don't
Wisconsin.
freaking know.
We have reached the moment where the first ever
Packers are getting
Green
trade
Bay
calls.
Packer pick to be made in Green Bay.
They would trade out while they're on the clock in their hometown.
And what do you think is happening somewhere technically within earshot of us right now? Tim?
I had them going corner when you fill out the mock draft. I had them going with Hairston from Kentucky. But oh, how ironic it would be with Matthew Golden, who's my top receiver that's left on the board after all these years.
The Packers taking first round
where they
receiver?
refused to do it. What? Maybe they just didn't want to play a road game. Maybe they wanted to bring the draft to them and make it a little bit.
This place is going to go nuts if they take a receiver in the first round.
Javon Walker, there you go.
2002.
Yeah, who Brett Favre famously
That just means there's
told
bad
him to
picks, Jace.
Stop holding out. Remember that? That was a big moment when Javon Walker did hold out. And that was the last time they took a wide receiver in the first round. They have taken pass catchers in the first round. But here in the home of the Green Bay Packers, we're less than 5 minutes away from this awesome draft moment. And the German Packer is here. I know you were asking.
Did you
will
see
the German Packer be here?
And by
Pat
the way,
Scout
we have
story?
heard Country Roads already.
No, I didn't. Oh, the Uncrustables one?
By the way,
Yes. Pat Scout IG. If you get us that sponsorship, I'll give you a portion of that.
A lot of cheese curds in that crowd.
Remember Green Bay has a population of 107,000 people.
Well, they each brought a buddy.
Everyone
brought a friend, and they're all here.
You show and bring one with you.
Listen to this.
Oh, come on, Packers. Trade it to the Patriots.
That's over. That's like a, what, 13 spot jump? Ugh.
Better not trade. We want a wide receiver. I mean, you just hear it out there. If they go wide receiver here, this place will explode.
Could you imagine that they
So honestly,
for the first time in 20
if he gets past the Packers, the Texans are your next worry, and after that,
Golden would come out.
you're in a good area to trade up if you try.
Thank you, Pat Scout. Emailing Uncrustables right now. be our marketing guy. Yeah. I mean, the Lions, I know they have Amon-Ra St. Brown, but man, if you had freaking Matthew Golden with him and Jamison Williams, that would be a fun offense too.
Oh my God, their offense is crazy. Their defense was what killed them last
I know.
year. 'Cause they were so
with
hurt.
all the corners falling, I could see them looking to go. Wow, they took.
I mean,
Terry
they lost.
Arnold last
They
year.
lost a corner too. We signed their.
Yeah, Carlton
Oh my
Davis.
gosh.
Corner or edge would make sense for Detroit. That's another receiving need team. I always seem to worry about just the lack of weapons that Lamar Jackson has. Even though they took Zay Flowers a couple of years ago, and they do have Devontae.
Zay is awesome.
They have Hopkins now, DeAndre Hopkins. The Bills, I mean, come on. The Bills, they took Keon Coleman. That's not enough to say no to Matthew Golden. The Chiefs? Would the Chiefs say no to a receiver?
No, I'm not saying that he's
I
going to
know.
fall to us. I'm saying what the Texans and the Packers are the next two teams you need to worry about. And then if you can trade up, maybe the Rams or somebody like that.
Yeah.
In this draft, that's a theme of this draft so far. You know, you got Jacksonville gets drafted.
They must be telling the Packers to go all the way down because it's Green Bay, huh?
Maybe.
They're still on the clock. Or maybe it's trade scenario.
This place is gonna go bonkers.
That scout said Eagles are trying to move up with Packers.
Now they're shaking hands. They made the pick.
Oh, they did.
Well, unless they traded.
That's possible too. If they did something, something is done.
They're fist bumping. That looks like a pick of Savone Ravel.
That's what it is.
No, I was just guessing.
Come on, Chase. You can't be saying that shit.
Sorry.
As of right now,
So they're playing against
we did see
Detroit,
the celebration.
Minnesota.
We did see the celebration in the draft room, but they have not put the words "the pick is in" up yet. And we imagine when that happens, there will be a massive ovation. But the pick is in fact been made. And Mark Murphy, the longtime now outgoing president of the.
How do we know the pick's been made?
And I'm saying that
Honestly? Will Johnson, yeah.
and this draft is essentially here.
That would make sense.
Because of his arm twisting and lobbying, and so he will be out on the stage for this moment. And the Vikings.
Here it is. The pick is in.
And as you could see,
This place is going nuts.
the pick is in fact in.
Matthew Golden. Fuck.
Yeah.
No way Brian Gutekunst was traded.
Makes sense, bro. Damn.
How cool is this? I'm just looking right behind us.
They took a first-round receiver.
Oh, Matthew Golden to the Packers.
So he can see over this crowd to find out who the Packers are going to take. I mean,
That sucks.
it's really cool, man.
This place is going to go nuts, and he's going to walk out and just be the freaking star of the show.
Yeah.
Not a single soul is looking this way right now.
If Matthew Golden's the pick, all those kids will be racing for their bikes right now.
Well, there's their first-round receiver.
Tell you what, I got a lot of respect for the young lady with the Brian Branch jersey standing up in the midst of this crowd. I got to give her some credit there. That's courage.
You rep your team, man.
Yeah.
The Lions
Steadfast in her belief.
and the Lions.
Yeah, Minnesota makes sense to trade with, but I just don't know for who.
What a career for Mark Murphy, huh?
The party's about to break out, guys, because it's time to throw things to the draft stage for the first draft in Green Bay and the first round pick of the Packers to be announced. Let's send things to the stage.
Pose for bros? This is a family-friendly show, Light
Come
Shadows.
on. Can we get Will Johnson at 38? I mean, if he falls that far to 38, he's probably got some pretty serious knee concerns. Where
Please give it up.
I don't know.
First team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, two-time Super Bowl
you think they'll
champion,
ever have the draft in
Packers
New England?
President and CEO,
No.
Mark Murphy.
It would come to Utah
This year,
before
draft
there.
is coming to Maine.
You guys don't have a big enough town square to do that.
Yeah, we do. Get out of here.
Here we go.
Plenty of land.
Unbelievable. Roger, thank you and the NFL for bringing the draft here to Green Bay for the best draft in the history of the NFL. Right here.
Get on with the pick.
On behalf of the Packers, Packer fans here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and everywhere, because our fans are everywhere, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the NFL Draft at Lambeau Field. It is our honor and privilege to host this wonderful event in our community, particularly since we are the only community-owned team in the NFL. Just out of curiosity, how many of you are owners? Yes. We also have the best owners in the NFL. And we also want to celebrate the special connection we have with our fans that dates back to the early days of professional football. With the 23rd pick in the 2025
Here we go. This place is going to go
NFL
nuts.
Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, Draft a wide receiver.
Listen to this crowd.
Oh, baby.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
This place is going nuts, bro.
He's here. And he's here.
I'll tell you what, timing is everything. You wait till the draft is in Green Bay. You go get a man for the green and gold named Golden. You can't script this any better. Everybody in this entire crowd wanted a wide receiver, Rich, and they came through for him.
Listen to this crowd.
Wow.
Talk about giving the people what they want. Let's bring a draft to Green Bay. Let's hold it in the parking lot. Let's have 125,000 people. Let's chant "Go Pack Go" and have the first wide receiver taken with a first-round pick since 2000.
Pat Scout. I have Higgins rated higher for the just his straight up ability. One is frame, two is straight up ability to separate and I think run a complete route tree. His feet. It's hard to pass on Burden, and I think that Josh McDaniels has the ability to scheme for him because of how good he is with the ball in his hand. But I don't know. I don't know. I'd probably want.
I'd be
Higgins
happy with
now.
either.
Yeah, I'd probably want Higgins now.
I'd be pretty happy with either of them. Can't lie.
The Green Bay Packer wide receiver.
Can we go get him in Dynasty, Cole?
Look at the jacket. He's even
With Jordan Love?
Yeah.
He was telling me the story the other day.
Yeah, I guess we
guys,
can trade Jaden Reed.
how he and his family were on hard times. Not he and his mom on hard times. Thinking about those moments growing up, getting through it.
The only thing I'll say about Golden, I think he's going to be a really
Jackson
good
to the
receiver.
Vikings.
Who?
Donovan Jackson to the Vikings.
Good. I freaking hated Donovan Jackson. Good.
Really?
I did not like. He was a better guard than tackle. Everyone was oohing and awing over his tackle ability. I thought he played good tackle, but he played it because he had to. He's not an NFL tackle. So
I think it was pretty impressive being able to bounce out the tackle like that. I mean, I thought he held his own pretty well for situation he was in.
I don't know. Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Oh, Donovan Jackson went 24. Where did I have him?
40. Probably.
No. You're not gonna like it.
Not gonna like what?
Oh, wait, what'd you say? 40?
Yeah.
Is where I had him?
Yeah.
No.
Lower?
70.
Really?
Adam is. I think he's a late second round guy. That's where I thought he was, just based off of his film, and that's looking at like his guard stuff too from the early in the season and last year. Like that's not just looking at the tackle stuff. That's just going through there. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Trade ups unless they want to go up and get an edge because there's a ton of good edges available. Like Mike Green lasting to this long was not seen. Jahad Campbell lasting to this long. If they want to get a backer, you can still go up for Luther Burden.
I guess it just depends what the concerns are. This is the stuff that we don't know. Like the teams know more than we do. Mike Green's a hell of a player. Like I think if you can get him somewhere around this range, I think you're getting a good value. But
I mean, he's my second. He's my 13th ranked prospect. Just like his ability to bend and get to the pass rusher and stuff, like it's elite.
Yeah. Would you swap? And that's somebody that we still don't really have necessarily. Like Harold Landry is not.
He wasn't brought in to be a pass rusher. He's not a 10+ sack guy consistently.
Yeah. His sacks are cleanup sacks. He's not a pin your ears back pass rusher, but like Mike Green, just dominant. If you can have him, Barmore, Williams, and Landry, and then you got Keon, and like that's exciting. So I'd be thinking about trading up for one of those guys too if you're not going to take one of these receivers. Would you swap Booty for Dobbs?
Yesterday, the guest after him
No, I don't think Dobbs gives you anything Booty doesn't, honestly. Like, Dobbs has had a couple good games, but I don't think that he gives you anything.
Oh, Giants just traded up.
This is there's no way they didn't trade up for Shedeur, right?
Here it is. Wow. So they get Shedeur and Abdul Carter.
It's a pretty good haul. That's what a lot of people thought would happen. So they traded with Houston. So what'd they get?
Interesting. You know what's funny too is like people were talking. The trades have just begun. There's been like 2 trades.
Oh, they traded. Crazy. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't trade with the Vikings.
Yeah, Rams are trading to the Giants. Wait, what?
No, Houston, right?
Yeah. What?
Houston's trading to the Giants.
Rappaport said Rams. The Rams are trading and the Giants are on the clock. How does that? That doesn't make sense. Texas.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Texas is trading.
Okay.
To the Giants.
Yeah, Minnesota continues to invest in this offensive line. He started out at left guard initially for Ohio State.
If I'm a Giants fan, I'm happy.
Josh Simmons.
That's best case scenario.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that would have argued for them to take him at 3. Yeah. So I mean,
wow. Hunter expected to be more of a wide receiver with the Jags.
Interesting.
Is interesting.
Temperament and motor. I love that about him. He's athletic enough on the backside. You can see here he can reach and seal, so you get some of those cutback runs.
Ricky. Ricky's not on top of the picks this year.
Ricky.
He was getting them so early last year.
34.99 in a future third. So they move down a couple spots. They get an extra.
That's
That's
the trade. Where are you guys getting this stuff?
Tight. Fully custom. How many Bud Lights can you fit in that puppy? As many Bud Lights as it takes.
Oh, looks like Schefter probably said it because he's talking right now.
Thank you so much.
That's why we do it, Marcy.
It really makes all the effort worth it. Gathering the most in-depth info, making a clean new homes.com that improves.
Giants get 25, 34.99 in 2026 third. Yep.
Home to build their lives.
Are you okay?
No,
Jace, do you want to play the Patriots Twitter post?
That's why we do it, isn't it? Got a lot of dust
Twitter.
in here.
Oh, Dusty.
Yeah. Ding dong.
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Lowe's
Inside
knows
the
it's
draft
easier
room.
to make the right calls when you have the right.
Oh, is this the call?
McCaffrey with a tough call.
Yeah. Jackson Dart.
Dude, they were higher on him. They said they were higher on him.
Wow.
And also, did you see that the GM's son tweeted a video of him?
That's funny. Well, if he would have listened to him last year, they wouldn't be in this situation. So
I got to text my buddy. He's a Giants fan.
He's got to be happy as a Giants fan.
No. He did not want.
Oh, he wants Sanders?
He wanted Sanders at 3. So he probably thought they were coming up. Okay.
Buddy, we're
Is
happy
this working?
as hell and we're excited for you.
Good.
Make sure you thank everybody that helps you get here. Okay. Yes, sir. Your parents, your family.
Volume.
It's
cool.
Buddy, we're happy as hell and we're
It's
excited
like
for
chopping
you.
all over the place. Is that just for me? Let's start it over. Try it again.
Buddy, we're happy as hell and we're excited for you. Make sure you thank.
Can you guys see
everybody
this, or is it
that
choppy
helps
for you
get
too?
here. Okay. Yes, sir.
It's
Parents,
super clear
family.
on my screen. So choppy. It's weird.
Buddy, we're happy as hell and we're excited for you.
Is it still choppy?
Make sure you thank
Yeah, it's still
everybody
like
that
lagging.
Yeah. Wi-Fi probably can't handle it.
I wonder why my thing won't share with volume. Is there a setting that I have wrong or something?
Maybe you just need to change the output. Like, is it Is it just going to your headset or something? I don't know.
I don't know. How do I?
I'll just play the audio through my phone. Through my microphone. Am I lagging right now?
Talk?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
My Wi-Fi all of a sudden says it's like at 1 bar, so I'm wondering if like I'm dropping frames or something.
Oh, maybe.
But
I
it
can hear
doesn't
you
like
fine.
I don't look choppy.
No, you look fine.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna play this then.
All right, hang on. Tell me when you're gonna do it.
Try it. Oh. Start over. 3, 2, 1, go.
Buddy, we're happy as hell. We're excited for you. Make sure you thank everybody that that helps you get here. Okay. Yes, sir. Parents, your family.
Look at us being innovative.
How you doing, man? I'm doing good. This is Cam Williams from the Patriots, man. I got Elliot Wolf right here. He's on the line. He's ready to fill you in on some things. Yes, sir. Congratulations, man. We're gonna make you our first round pick. You're a New England Patriot. Man, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, man. Here's Coach Vrabel. Buddy, we're happy as hell. We're excited for you. Make sure you thank everybody that helps you get here. Okay. Yes, sir. Parents, your family.
Oh, no.
Unreal.
You're a girl. You got a great story. You're about everything that we are. So, yes, sir. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and we'll get this thing going, and we're excited to have you. Okay? Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, just thank everybody that helped you get here. I'm gonna let you talk to Mr. Kraft, our owner. Okay? Yes, sir. Thanks, Will. Yes, sir. Will, what's going on? Hey, congratulations. We're excited to have you. I'm excited to be there. Yeah, you're gonna hopefully help us to strengthen that offense. And I look forward to meeting you in person. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, you be well.
1 sec. I want to hear the Giants' reaction to the pick. Also, the Falcons are on the clock. They traded up.
For Mike Green. Wait, no, they just drafted an edge guy.
Traded the 25th pick to the New York Giants. With the 25th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Jackson Dart, quarterback, Mississippi.
So it is the Ole Miss quarterback, Jackson Dart.
He's in Ogden, Utah. He's right down from me.
He is going to the division with
I need to go find him.
Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels. He is going to be a guy who has every shot in the world to be the quarterback of the Giants. One would think if not this year, then certainly in future years. What a moment for this kid sitting in Utah right now, going to Broadway to be the Giants quarterback at some point.
Yeah, this young quarterback, Ole Miss, is going to have fun throwing to Malik Neighbors at LSU. LSU, the SEC rival, is going to get along quite well there as they grow.
I go back and see if I recognize anyone sitting behind him. Oh, there's a couple people back there.
Who you know?
Yeah, one of them plays at BYU right now. I recognize him. That's his brother who's at the same high school as he has. We actually just recruited there the other day, so we saw him. He's like a 4-star sophomore safety already. He already has Ole Miss and like BYU offers and stuff.
Who do you think the Falcons are taking here?
Mike Green.
Even though they just took
They took Jalen Walker, right? So maybe they're going just straight up edge. They need pass rush help.
Says wide receiver is a top need for them.
We got another quarterback out of there. But guess what, folks? It all started with Charlie
I don't know.
Connerly.
Pair somebody with Drake London.
And guess who won the Connerly Award last year as the top player in the state of Mississippi? Jackson Dart. This kid is schooled in it.
Yeah, they do need DNs. They need DNs all over the field. So
I think he's in a great situation.
Light shadows.
Yeah, Kurt, I know
Button
that
in the top
you
right
love
corner
Jackson
for share
Dart.
volume.
I'd be interested
James
in
Pierce
your
Jr.
thoughts on his game.
Okay. I don't. What screen are you talking about? You talking about on Twitter?
They've all did with Josh Allen, and that he wants a quarterback that can move, the design runs, the movement scheme that he likes to have. The second level.
You're not on a Mac, are you?
Windows.
So like for me, there's like a little on my Mac, but on Windows, I'm pretty sure Jace is going to be a stalker. Yeah, I'm gonna go find him right now.
Yeah, he's gonna have a restraining order from Jackson Dart by the morning.
I played high school against this dude. Like, I'm serious. He was a freshman when I was a senior, and he originally went to Roy High School, which is in Ogden, but then he transferred to Corner Canyon, recruiting and stuff like that. But yeah, I played against him my sophomore year, his sophomore year, my senior year.
Did you see the trade terms for the Rams Falcons?
No, is it?
Falcons trade 46, 242, and a future first.
Whoa!
For 26 and 101.
Well, duh, you do that pick.
Yeah. The Rams are like, okay.
I mean, James Pierce has the ability, he has the pass rush ability to be like a top 10 talent, but he has the off the field issues, fallen. That's why, but he's twitchy, man, and he's long. He's bigger than Mike Green and Abdul Carter. That's what he has on them that those two don't.
Surter might fall out of the first.
Oh, yeah. I don't find that hard to believe.
At this point.
Jackson Dart, 25. Wow.
They have 2 3s, a 4, 4 6s, and a 7. And a first rounder next year.
Yeah, future first is crazy. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they're
come up to 26.
Yeah, and they're saying, if let's say that they're back at, like I said, I think James Pierce is, what is he on my big board? James Pierce is 16 on my big board, so they're getting good value for him. Shadur's going to fall to 33, and they're going to take him pick one for the
probably.
Bless me. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens go Ezeraku or Malachi Starks right here. There was reports today that Malachi Starks is like the pick.
I have the button clicked that says also share tab audio. Oh, here we go. Stand by.
See how kind of that lean, narrow frame, but he ran in the 4.
Tell me if you can hear this, Chase.
Buddy, we're happy as hell and we're excited for you. Make sure you thank.
See, it's just the technically challenged people all the way up in Maine. It's a little hard for them to figure some of that stuff out. They just got the network, or what is it? The internet, like three weeks ago.
What do they call that? And the intercom,
interweb, like chatbook. Is that what that is?
Snapface. Is that
Snapface.
what? Yeah.
Yeah, Snapface. Yeah, all them hoes be on there. Men from Maine.
Listen, don't hate on me. All right, what we got?
We didn't have to do it right away. It's a good pick for them.
The Ravens halfway through their pick as we send things to Ian.
Rich, DJ is right. The Falcons came this close to picking James Pierce at number 15 overall. They have, in fact, done extensive homework on his character, trying to understand the immaturity. They've talked to basically everyone he knows. They met with him and his mom yesterday doing late homework on Pierce, believe in the culture that Raheem Morris has created. Rich, James Pierce, now Falcon.
Keep up with every pick on NFL.com with the draft tracker presented by Alexis.
Okay. Well, we officially, 6 picks left. So at this point right here, with the Patriots not needing a tackle, I don't know if there's anyone. If they wanted to trade up for Burden, I guess they could. I would probably prefer Higgins. if they want to trade up for Nicky Mawari. I mean, or Mike Green. I think Mike Green would be an interesting one to trade up for.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
There's no such thing as kind of amazing.
I mean, you feel like you got enough character guys in that room to figure it out, no?
Yeah, unless it's just like coming down to the law because it was sexual assault and it was in high school. And
that's what it was.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Because a car that doesn't make
I don't want to say it wrong.
No bueno.
So he was suspended at the start. Gosh, I forget to turn that down. He was suspended at the start of his second year at Virginia. So 2 years out of high school, he started at Virginia. He was suspended for sexual assault allegations. He was not charged, and the case was suspended, and he denied any wrongdoing. But he also had a sexual assault allegation while in high school. So he's had 2 sexual assault charges.
A lot of my peers used the aligners before.
And it hasn't been since 2022, and the cases have been dismissed, but
You don't love to hear that.
Nope.
Okay, so we're at the film festival.
Did you trade 38 and 77 to move up, or
I would not move up for Nick Scorton.
Are you saying move up for Mike Green, or wait until?
Oh, I get what you're saying. I would. Okay.
I move up
would
for
you,
Mike Green or a receiver here.
Yeah, I have Scorton at 38 on mine, so it actually aligns right with where the Patriots will be picking second again. The weight issue, he played at like 280 this year, but he's been playing a lot better. When he was originally at Purdue, he was at like 260, which is what he weighed in at the combine. So that's what he's got to stay at to play there. Super good hands, but man, if you're looking to change the complexity of your defense and your pass rushing attack, Nick Scorton's not the guy to go get. He is very similar to Harold Landry, which I don't think is a bad thing. He's going to be more of a run stopper, but I think that it would make more sense to go get like Mike Green, the elite pass rush that has the twitch, has the ability to dip under the blocks.
I feel like we're starting to have enough guys that are run stoppers. You know what I mean? We need a guy who's a pressure to the quarterback. Purdue tape was top 5. Jared Verse-esque. Yeah.
His Purdue tape was very good. I will give him that, but
Malachi Starks to the Ravens.
They said that that's what it was going to be. That's what the reports were today. It was like, that's their dream pick, is that he falls there. So
I think he was 8th best on PFF, and he went to 27.
He was 8 on my board also. Yep.
Rich Eisen runs the 40 to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit St. Jude.
That's
Run Rich Run to donate.
That's a very good pick for them. Him and Kyle Hamilton, bro.
Hey everybody, Verizon Small Business Days are here now.
Target at 38. Yeah. Burden.
It's Jade Higgins for me. Higgins is my number 1 guy right now at 38. Obviously we'll see who goes, but like, shit, if Jahad Campbell keeps falling, it's just a labrum surgery. Now, I get that that's similar to what is that exactly what Nakobe Dean had that made him fall? But again, Nakobe Dean was undersized too, and he was not nearly as good as Jahad Campbell. So he would be an interesting one. Will Johnson is a top 6. He's number 6 for me, but I don't. Gosh, do you just say screw it? We're taking best player available, and now you have him, Gonzo, and Carlton Davis. I don't know. That seems a little bit weird.
Yeah, that feels like, I don't know. That feels like a
Do
waste.
you honestly just say, hey, we're going to take Josh Simmons here, and we're going to just right now move Will Campbell in? I don't know. That one would be another weird one too.
No, Johnson is a stud, but I don't know. It's best player available until it doesn't make sense. And when you're paying a corner $20 million a year for the next 3 years, and you have Gonzo, and you have Marcus Jones, like, I mean, it would be the most disgusting cornerback trio ever. But like, you got bigger fish to fry. And if there's a player who's comparable, which maybe there's not, but if there's a player who's semi-comparable at a position of need, I think that's probably the direction that they would end up going.
27th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore
The Max,
Malachi Starks.
the Max guy I do the Draft Geeks podcast with is a Ravens fan, and he was he was saying,
Must
you
be
know, Malachi Starks would be fun. Him and Kyle Hamilton.
Still in there.
The Ravens are another team that just get it right in the draft, man. The thing about the Ravens, they take good football players. And I mean, Malachi Starks is a freaking good football player. Maybe a little bit limited athletically, but Kyle Hamilton was limited athletically too.
That seemed to work out for him.
So yeah, the Ravens know how to use those guys. So
Hamilton, Notre Dame, right?
Notre Dame, yep.
You talk to the folks at Georgia, they talk about the leadership he provided, and he has got big time character, excellent communicator, and excellent leader. Here he is down the field, locating the ball in the deep half, showing you those ball skills. This was in an early game here, first game.
It's tomorrow, 5-minute rounds.
Watch him go up and get it.
I think it's like 8.
That was it. And so you want to see a few more plays on the ball. He didn't get those opportunities.
I think it's 5 minutes, day 3.
Watch him tackle. Watch him fill the alley, close, and get guys on the ground. You can blitz him, but you know Baltimore is going to cut everybody loose in that defense, Joel.
What I love is he is such a smart player. Day one, he started for Kirby Smart in that secondary. Day one on campus, and he has been not only a great player for them, but a great leader, like you mentioned. And for my money, at least, CD, when I look at what he can do, you look at the versatility throughout
so
the secondary.
if Detroit doesn't take a receiver here,
Christmas tree, but you can also start moving him
29
around
seems like a
because
good
he
spot
is
to come up
in his football IQ,
the Commanders trading a bunch of picks and stuff recently.
Two things. Number one,
Yeah.
on any team,
Yeah, I mean, I think that Washington is in play for Travion Henderson. They need a running back, but they might feel like they could trade down to 38 and still get him.
Yep, probably.
I think that there's legitimately, let me look at my position rankings. Let's say Travion Henderson doesn't go today. I could see 6 running backs coming off the board tomorrow. Like there will be a run on running backs tomorrow. You're going to have, if Henderson doesn't go, you'll have Henderson, you'll have Caleb Johnson, Quinshaw Judkins, Cam Scatterboot, Dylan Sampson, DJ Giddens could slide in there. Like you'll probably have 5 plus, potentially like 6 and stuff flying off the board. And that's high for a running back. Like being taken in the 2nd or 3rd round as a running back is good value.
Yeah.
To have 2 in the 1st round is crazy.
Detroit's pick is in.
Commanders is now on the clock. And it's the Bills, Chiefs, and Eagles.
What do we got? What do we got?
Browns lurking at the top.
What's your prediction?
The Lions.
Yeah.
You want yourself some Shador Sanders, you might have to get in over the next
Jahad Campbell.
Yeah, because right now Cleveland can sit. They don't have to.
Just because the coach's name is Campbell.
Yeah, and Jack Campbell.
No one on the board is a quarterback.
I think I could see them going Jahad Campbell, or honestly, they might be in play for Ezraku or Mike Green. Yeah, I think that it's good to point out the end with the Aiden Hutchinson injury. I think that they could go with Mike Green or Donovan Ezraku.
It's funny that wide receiver says their biggest need on their team on PFF when they have James Williams and Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
To come up from 5, they've got Jacksonville's first rounder.
If that's needing a wide receiver, then the Patriots must.
The Patriots' first 4 should be wide receiver.
Yeah, that's insane.
But you said that the Patriots have the worst wide receiver room all the way down to like 12U football in America.
Pretty close, yeah. It's better now with Diggs.
Deep over the steering wheel for the moment.
Yeah.
Let's welcome Malachi Starks to the stage with Jamie Erdogan.
I just got my first hug of the night from one of the draft prospects. You just hugged Roger Goodell for the longest
running back.
What was the meaning behind
Rayner.
such a long embrace with him?
It's been a long week.
You're shitting me. That's got to be fake.
Just kind of watch him as a kid since I was a kid and be up here with him. And I've been waiting for a long
That's
time.
what PFF says.
No, I see it. I see it, bro. I'm not saying you're tripping. There's no freaking way that that's real.
Glitch?
Dude, that will be oh my, no way. No way. There's no way that that's Will.
There's what?
There's no way that that's got to be a glitch.
What? Yeah, why would they take another running back in the first round?
Congratulations.
But it's not even why would they take another running back. It's why
value.
No, dude, that guy might be like a 5th or 6th round pick.
Oh, no, that's a glitch.
Thank you.
D-tackle.
Tyleek Williams?
Yeah.
Holy crap. 5 D tackles went in the first round. Bro, okay, I was tripping why I didn't know Tyleek Rayner. It's because he graduated Temple in 2018. So that was definitely a glitch.
Okay, I was gonna say what?
Hey, I'm just saying Detroit probably looked at how the Eagles built their team and that defense and say, hey, Aiden Hutchinson is going to come back. Now we need some interior pressure. So,
oh, hang on, you're frozen. There you go. You're back.
Am I there?
Yep.
Sorry. Good. Wow, 5 D tackles. I said 4 would go. I was pretty confident 4 would go, the top 4 that went, but getting Tyleek into the first round is big. Wow. Where did I have him? I had him at 43. He goes at 28.
Just a big, strong, powerful guy at 334 pounds. He's going to free up everybody else to rush.
That was confusing. I didn't know what just happened. I was like, am I missing something?
Against the run, just can eat up a lot of space. You see these little glimpses of his ability to get on the other side and be a disruptor. As a pass rusher, it's more pure power than anything else. But to me, he's going to give you pass rush opportunities, Joel, on 3rd down by him stopping the run early in the downs.
Yeah, base down impact is what he's going to give you primarily as a run defender. He lined up as a 3 technique for Jim Knowles' defense. They went through an entire philosophical change in the way that they were going to rush the quarterback mid-year after their loss to Oregon with that defense. Larry Johnson, their defensive line coach, and Tyleek Williams took that philosophy change, and he was better in the second half of the season.
Alfred Collins, the interior defensive lineman out of Texas, big, long, physical guy. I think he'll be a late round 2 guy, especially with how D tackles are coming off the board. Like, you go to my rankings right here. So it was Graham Grant, Harmon, Nolan Williams, Walter Nolan, Tyleek Williams. Darius Alexander was my 6th. CJ West, Alfred Collins. So with how they're going, man, I think Darius Alexander, CJ West, Alfred Collins are probably coming off in the 2nd round, if not early 3rd. I agree. I'm interested to see if this is Travion Henderson for Washington. I think they need one there.
Grand entrances need a Grand Highlander. Toyota. Let's go.
We got any breaking news while I was gone?
Yes, the Patriots traded for AJ Brown.
Wow.
In my dreams.
Yeah.
As many Bud Lights as it takes. A lot of Bud Lights.
Yes, I do have CJ West ahead of TJ Sanders. The size and the get off, and I think CJ West is a little bit better in the run game than TJ Sanders is. I thought TJ Sanders was a little limited in the run and got pushed around a little bit more than CJ West. So, yeah, I had CJ West ahead of him. CJ West was 66 on my big board out of my top 100, and TJ Sanders was at 85.
He's so much more than Saquon Barkley.
I'm also Saquon Barkley.
Oh man, struck my uniform. Whoever did.
Oh man, stress out.
Commanders on the clock.
Relax, Rook. When things get intense, we get incense. What a nice cleansing surprise.
For your insurance.
This would be big if it was another running back.
On your side.
Where I come from has made me into the player that I am. Cheyenne River Youth Project, they have a way to help people out. I hope these kids see that everything is achievable, whether you're from a reservation or not.
Somebody, I guess Shadur today tweeted, he said, I'm built for whatever today may bring. And somebody just said, what about tomorrow?
Yeah.
If that's your jam, this is for you.
Someone or Dion tweeted something a couple months ago or maybe weeks ago about how Shadur was going to be a top 5 player. And they got community noted saying Shadur was not taken in the top 5.
We'll take them. Everyone should give their dog fresh pet. They're part of our
It's gotta
family,
be bad.
so
That's
they deserve
bad.
a quality meal too.
Win a really big design contract. Realize you're more of a creative type than a finance type. Use QuickBooks to
Gosh,
break out
Buffalo
full
might
flight.
freaking take Jahad Campbell. That would be a dream pick for them. He'd fall right into their lap.
QuickBooks, your way to money.
Why would I use Kayak to compare hundreds of travel sites at once? I like to do things myself. I can't trust anything else to do the job right. Kayak.
Kayak. Search one and done.
I don't really like committing to things.
Thanks, Pete Davidson.
But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, so Coach Prime tweeted, this was on June 1st, 2024. Someone tweeted and said, tell your son stop acting like he the coldest out here, then put up a 4-8 record. Coach Prime said he will be a top 5 pick. Where your son going? LOL. I got time today. And then they just got freaking community noted. Shedeur Sanders was not a top 5 draft pick.
Yikes.
Or woof. Josh Connerly to Washington. Okay, so we're probably not going to get 3 running backs in the first round, which I could see Henderson coming off early tomorrow. Who would need a running back? New England.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd take Henderson. He's not the pass catching type, too. That's what they use Judkins for.
Is PFF for you or what?
Yeah, PFF got it for me.
I don't see it. Why is my PFF behind yours?
Sorry, I pay for premium. Premium plus.
All the way. This team is, they're just ahead of schedule. You look at what they inherited, the previous first-round picks, Forbes, Dotson, Jamin Davis, Chase Young. None of those guys are there anymore. They started
Josh
from scratch.
Connerly.
They already acquired Laramie Tunsil and Deebo Samuel, and now
With
this
the
pick.
29th pick in the
There we go.
2025 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select.
This is actually very smart, Pat Scout. This is very smart. Buffalo could easily do that because contract talks have not been going good with them. Now, I think there's a more immediate need, like linebacker or maybe corner. And with all the, like, dude, okay.
Jihad Campbell.
Will Johnson or Jahad Campbell is a home run right here for these guys. Those guys should not be here. And if you guys watch the game against the Chiefs, like they just could not guard a soul out there. They lacked in man coverage. So, man, and you look at the corners. I think Trey Amos was a good opportunity here. I'm super high on Savone Ravel, even though he had his ACL injury. So I think those 2 guys right there make sense. And that was because I didn't think Will Campbell would be here. So I think that they would make sense. You could easily convince me that Nicky Mawari, because they've had so many good safeties the last couple of years and they've really lost them. But you could also say, hey, James Cook isn't going to re-sign most likely, so maybe they do take running back. There's a lot of options here for Buffalo.
How do the Eagles #1 need a wide receiver? They have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Like, what are we talking about?
I know. It's because they don't need anything. What else do they need?
They're gonna get Mike Green to replace Josh Sweat.
They could. I had the Eagles in my last mock draft for the Draft Geeks. I had them taking Nicky Mawari just because that's freaking seems like why am I drawing a blank on what their GM's name is?
Howie Roseman?
Yeah, Roseman. Like, he's just going to take the best player, and they just got rid of CJ Gardner-Johnson. Why? I had him taking Nicky Mawari, and it was just because I'm like, what do they need?
Or Will Johnson?
Yeah, seriously. Even though they took Cooper DeJean and who they get Quinion Mitchell last year, but jeez.
That'd be a trio.
He was maybe even the guy that could get into the teens outside of that tape. But this is another love letter to their quarterback, guys. It's another love letter to the quarterback, the young quarterback.
To compete with the Bucks, you need 14 corners now.
That's true.
I thought there might be a chance of a corner on defense there. Got Marshawn.
Yeah, there's still some good players that are falling.
I will say,
Campbell, Mike Green, Will Johnson.
I will say, whether it's today or early tomorrow, I would not be, even with Luther Burden on the board, I would not be mad if the Patriots just made an aggressive move to shore up the chance that they get Jaden Higgins. If they make a move at some point right now, because I don't know what the cost would be. If you're moving up to, obviously you're probably not moving up with Buffalo, but if you're moving up with Kansas City or the Eagles, or you want to move up with, Tennessee or maybe even one of Cleveland's picks tomorrow, I am not mad if that's the move they're going to make and just take the guy that they want.
You think Cleveland takes Sanders?
I think they do at 33.
In this conversation after them, and then come the
But you
Philadelphia
don't.
Eagles.
Bro, they have 33 and 36. So like that trade just gave them more ammo. So they're going to now be like, okay, well, let's take Shedeur at 33. And then I could see them taking a running back because Chubb's injury. They could use a tackle also. They could take, let's say Ariante Ursary, or let's say Josh Simmons falls there because he is injury. Like, I think this gives them the luxury to still take Shedeur and still fill up a more need right now.
Mm.
But could you imagine if they would have stayed at 2 and gotten him, and then gotten Travis Hunter and then gotten Shedeur at 33?
I know, that's what I was thinking. If they didn't trade back.
Crazy.
Yeah, if they didn't trade back, they could have had both of them.
Buffalo's pick is in.
They're gonna take fucking Luther Burden or something.
I mean, I don't love their receiver core. I know they took Keon Coleman last year, but I feel like it's got to be defense. So
Just like, college guy coming in looking at Buffalo. There's two ways that you beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, and they're the same way. What Tampa did in the Super Bowl and what Philadelphia did in the Super Bowl, and
Put him on his back.
Put Patrick Mahomes on his back. So to me, I don't know if there's enough edge tackle. There's not enough defensive linemen that you can take here. The problem is they've been run through in this draft. There's not really.
Did they do something with Von Miller this offseason?
Taking production here.
I think he's still there.
Green from Marshall, he led the country.
As Araku, the Ted Hendricks Award winner.
As Araku, he had 16 and a half sacks for Boston College. That would be interesting to me.
Just to put a number on it, they were 21st in the league in playing cover one, in playing man coverage. So
yeah, I would be shocked if this isn't a corner here with Will Johnson on the board, bro. I would be shocked.
Well, to be exact, Daniel, there's been one cornerback.
Dayball just said that Russ is the starter.
Played wide receiver at the same time. We're talking about Jahdae Barron, who went 20th overall to the
Jackson
Denver
Dart.
Broncos to be paired up with the reigning defensive player of the year in the same.
Can I make one request?
Okay.
Travis Hunter at the press conference. Do me a favor. Come out as a wide receiver and do a press conference. Change outfits. Come out as a corner and do another one.
I love it. So here comes the commissioner with the Bills pick and another special guest with.
How do we not know the pick yet if the commissioner's
Chiefs
walking?
are on the clock right now, and we're about to hear the Bills selection here in Green Bay.
The NFL is stepping up to have an even greater impact as a wish maker for Make-A-Wish. For the second time tonight, we have the opportunity to grant a wish for a deserving young man to announce the first pick for his favorite team. Tommy.
Give it up. I love it, Tommy.
Tommy is a 16-year-old living with a neuromuscular disorder, is a huge Buffalo Bills fan, and he's here with me to make the announcement for his beloved Bills. Go ahead, Tommy.
This is cool. I love when the NFL does stuff like this, man.
Let's go, Buffalo!
Okay, but not Buffalo.
With the 30th
Well,
pick,
it's going to be a surprise.
NFL draft, the Buffalo Bills select Maxwell Harrison. Let's go!
Wow. Gosh, I was not high on him. Will Johnson's medicals must be bad.
Yeah, I know.
I had Maxwell Harrison at 50 exactly for me. He's fast, bro. Don't get me wrong. That dude can fly, but
Super Bowl teams, Brett Veach, formerly of Philadelphia, and Howie Roseman.
Still not on PFF. What is going on?
The Eagles.
man, dude, I'm interested in Will Johnson's medicals now.
They're on the clock. So that means Kansas City is the final trade partner for anybody who wants to hop into the first round and choose somebody.
Eagles are trading 32 to the Chiefs.
No,
for
31. Oh, what? They just flopped?
They flipped with the Chiefs to move up a spot.
Huh?
First of all, this is a defense that was 29th and third down defense last year. Maxwell
Imawari?
help that number jump way up.
I don't know, bro. This is interesting. These last two are interesting. Who would they flip one pick for? Mike Green, maybe. I don't know if the I don't know. It could be. I don't know if the
Green
if
for
the-
Sweat. They're just gonna fill him. Just gonna swap it. No have to pay Sweat
would
anymore.
they
and
really
Green's
feel
going
the
in there.
would they really feel the need to would they really feel the need to
But his 4-2 speed is
sorry, I was reading something. Would they really feel the need to flip one spot just for Mike Green? Like, were the Chiefs in that big of a spot to take him? Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, the obviously the Chiefs weren't going to take him because they wouldn't have traded back with the Eagles. So probably somebody else was calling.
That's the team
Chiefs.
you just lost to in the Super Bowl, and the freaking and the Eagles just put Mahomes on his back 20 times.
Yeah.
The Bills just drafted this year's fastest guy at the combine, who I would imagine would be marking Xavier Worthy in future games against the
and
Chiefs.
it will be a great race as you watch.
Yeah,
him
this
here.
trade's
The
a little
burst,
weird.
Look at how fast and explosive he is. He can put it on cruise
We'll
control.
see, man. We'll
in the
see.
end zone. He gets himself in a bad position, not a problem. I can recover. That's Bond he's going up against, who we know he can really run. That was no issue.
Bond ran sub 4.4.
To recover there. The big year in 23 we referenced. If he had that year this year, we're talking about somebody with a top 10, top 15 pick, and he's tough as a blitzer. The tackling wasn't as good this
I wonder
year.
if the Patriots
That
or
the
anybody was
result of the
calling on Mike
shoulder. I'm
Green
not worried
for the
about that.
Chiefs, and they didn't want to go back that far.
Personality.
And
Keon Coleman
Eagles
last
called
year.
and said that we'll move
Mad
up one
Max
spot.
this year. Getting some personalities in Western New York.
Well, I think we're about to see it on display.
And there's no other reason that the Eagles would trade
Maxwell,
up with the
you
Chiefs.
have hugged every single prospect that has been called before you tonight. Now it is your moment.
So Will Johnson has a knee issue that has concerned some NFL teams and helps explain why he still has not been selected.
Jihad Campbell, the Eagles,
That's a great pick for them, bro.
and Ari
Shit.
posted
And
Will
your
Johnson
family, you love them so much. You are
as
He posted a picture of him?
with Will Johnson while saying they're taking Jihad
Wow,
Campbell.
bro. The Eagles? The
It just
Eagles
every
just-
year falls into their lap.
Gosh, damn, that's my 9th ranked player, and he has the labrum surgery, but wow.
Congratulations to Maxwell.
They kept Zach Bond, didn't they?
Overall pick that belonged to
Yeah.
Philadelphia now belongs to Kansas
Yeah, but this
City.
dude's longer than Bond and a little more athletic. But yeah, he just had a
Yeah.
great year.
That they coughed up the Buck 64th overall pick to go.
Easter on the
nuts.
clock,
So
last pick of the
handshakes
night.
all around for the defending Super Bowl champs, and the Chiefs are on the clock right
Yeah,
now. We'll
I had
find out
Morrison.
how wraps up.
Morrison's at 58, mostly because you see guys come back from ACLs. Hips are, especially at corner, is a little concerning, a little bit concerning. So, gosh, watch the Chiefs just take fetch and I don't think there's a tackle worth taking here. They could take Mike Green or someone. They could take Will Johnson, pair him with McDuffie.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
See you on game day.
This is Roundup for lawns. This stuff works.
Well,
This stuff
looks like
kills
Sanders
people
really
down
isn't going in the first
without
round.
Killing your lawn.
Well, don't say that. What if he goes here?
This stuff works for
You're
up
right.
to 3 months.
Chiefs are probably Mahomes is on the hot
This
seat.
stuff works on big lawns.
That'd be
small
nuts.
lawns, and I guess you can call that lawns.
I don't
This
think
stuff
Nuts
works
would
without
describe
killing your lawn. This stuff
that
works without
quite
killing your weekend. This
enough.
stuff works for the rookies and the seasoned pros. This stuff works in Knoxville, Bronxville, Rockville, Marysville. This is Roundup for lawns. This stuff works.
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's
a lot more interesting.
we're getting to the point where the Patriots aren't going to trade back up. But man, there's a lot of talent, and the Patriots are in a prime position to get someone. Now, there's some players of Patriots or us want a little bit more than others. Jaden Higgins, maybe a Luther Burden. But man, if you could strike Mike Green at 38, if you could strike Donovan as a Rocco at 38, Scorton's still there too, even though I prefer other guys. But man, like scrolling down this board, there's some dudes there.
It's just frustrating to me how the Patriots, with their draft history, value their picks so highly that they aren't willing to move up. Like that was something that was talked about when they were saying, "Oh, maybe the Patriots will trade up to 2 for Travis Hunter." It's like, no,
Whatever you do,
they value their picks extremely highly, and it's like you haven't hit on many players.
You haven't hit on enough.
Why are
Yeah.
you grasping these like they're gold? Like you don't pick good players. If you see somebody who you think is gonna be a guaranteed good player, go get him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't make sense that they're like, oh, we have to have 30 picks. But you don't hit on those 30 picks. So how about you make it 5 picks and
Not only
have
is
better
he the
players?
first, we represent him on the field. Draft night will be legendary.
Gosh, man, the Eagles kill it. The Eagles and the Ravens, they just, what I love about them is they don't overthink things. They don't overthink it, man. Like, they take good football players.
They just get good football players every year.
Like, and obviously they've been in a position, both those teams, the last 8+ years to take. They haven't really there hasn't been one glaring need in the first or second rounds. Like, they've been able to take the best player available, or whatever, because they've had good teams and they've hit on their previous draft picks and stuff. But yeah, they don't overthink things. They keep it simple.
So there's 6 picks before the Patriots come up, and you still have Mike Green. Do you want to include Will Johnson in this? I mean, probably not going to take him. So Mike Green, Luther Burden, Ezeraku,
This is going to happen again every year.
Scorton, Higgins.
They're going to get one of probably those guys if they want them.
Yeah, because you hope Shadur goes ahead, or in one of those picks.
Yeah. So they should be able to get one of those guys.
Let's hope so.
Like 1 or 2 spots and go get the guy they want.
Nolan Smith fell to him, and
Nolan Smith, they
Look
fell.
at this collection, and there's a reason why they won the Super Bowl.
But
I
you
know Saquon is Saquon, but look at this.
Remember when Jalen Carter fell in the first round and Philadelphia just, okay, 1 or 2 moves were there. We'll take him.
Yeah,
once he got in the range.
Jeez, this Eagles defense, bro. They were so good.
Is the pick in for?
No, it's still. They haven't even announced the Eagles one on the actual thing.
Oh, jeez. Really wanting to drag this out, huh?
Yeah, they're like, we're only at 3.5 hours. We have to get to 4.
Yeah. It's not even midnight yet. What time's the draft tomorrow?
I think it's still at 6.
Can I read you guys something? Well, first off, go ahead. After the selection, I need to get this in.
Oh, look.
The Kansas City Chiefs have traded the 31st pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. We're the
5. It's at 5, actually. 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. I was going to say, that's going to be a late night if it's 2 rounds and they're 8 minutes
Yeah.
apiece.
Might be 7. Gosh, that dude's a big dude.
in Philly green, and I mean the guy who's 12th on your draft board has just been selected by the defending Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, they always get like a top 15 guy on the big boards.
Yep.
Speaking of Obi-Wan down here, our lead draft expert, Daniel Jeremiah, writes in his mock draft at 32. Remember, they moved to 31, Philadelphia. The rules are simple with the Eagles. They take the best Alabama or Georgia player who falls into their lap. Campbell's my number 12 player in the draft.
Every year.
This value at the end of round 1. If not for the shoulder surgery, he's
Cooper DeJean was where was Cooper? So they got Cooper DeJean and Mitchell last year, right?
Yeah.
So I had DeJean at 11 and Quinion Mitchell at 15.
That's crazy.
And they got DeJean in the second, and Mitchell was at like 20 something.
Yeah.
And then the year before that, they got Jalen Carter at like 9. He was 4 for me there. And then who else did it just show that they got in that draft? Nolan Smith. He was 15 for me, and he was another 30 guy. Like, it's just, it's crazy, bro.
Yep. No wonder they win the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl.
Guys, you want to see how to build a team in the NFL and why it's not all about free agency or why it's hard to win off free agency? You don't buy teams, you build them. You build teams, you develop them, and you re-sign them. And that's what the Eagles have done. And the Chiefs, if you look at the Chiefs too, like they excuse me, obviously hitting on the quarterback is a huge thing, but man, they've hit on a bunch of other picks too. Trent McDuffie, right? They hit on Nick Bolton. They've hit on guys. Chris Jones has been there for a while. Travis Kelce. So you hit on guys, and yeah.
You got any like costume stores near you?
I got a couple, but it's not a Halloween time, so Party City isn't open. Or Spirit Halloween is the one around us. You guys have those there?
No.
They literally rent out just open buildings around Halloween time for like 2 months and just throw in a bunch of costumes and then they get out. So it's never in the same location.
Yeah. Huh. You'll have to go on the lookout tomorrow. See if you can find one of
I'll go
those.
scouting. Yeah.
That's gonna be hilarious if you pull up to stream tomorrow and you're wearing a dinosaur T-Rex suit. That's gonna be legendary.
12 personnel, and then do everything out of those single personnel groups.
Is there even a tackle worth taking for the right now?
Josh Simmons?
Yeah, I guess they could take a chance on him. I wouldn't reach for Ursary or someone.
Chiefs are staying at 32, expecting offensive line help from Mahomes.
He was working the phones trying to get a trade. They thought they had a trade, thought it was done. The Chargers ended up picking, try to get at 23, again at 24, now get Campbell at 31.
Wow. So the Eagles were trying to trade up to 23.
And he fell in their lap. Josh Simmons, that's such a fucking, oh, man.
Is that who they took?
Yeah.
I mean, that's good for them.
Sucks. That sucks. He's going to be a stud left tackle for them.
With our friend Jamie Erdahl. Jamie.
Yeah, that's good for them. I mean, I had Josh Simmons at 11 on my big board. I think if he plays the whole year, he's a top 10 potential. Maybe he's above Membu or Banks. But yeah, that's a good pick for them.
That's so frustrating.
So let's recap real quick. Looking at the best available, I mean, Mike Green still being here. There's obviously some issues there. We know Will Campbell's had a knee injury that popped up at the combine, so there's things there. Luther Burden, we kind of anticipated him to fall just because of the lack of route running and some of the concerns there. But man, you talk about Mike Green, Luther Burden, Donovan Ezaraku, Nick Scorton, Jaden Higgins is my number one guy. That's my number one guy I want him to get tomorrow is Jaden Higgins. I think he fits the X receiver the Patriots want. I think that it's what they need. And, his, ability to separate quick feet. So that would be my number one guy tomorrow.
Higgins, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a few good options, like you mentioned. You got your left tackle, hopefully. So focus on receiver. If there's an edge guy that falls to you, there's just, like you mentioned, those names. There's some good options. I would be happy with Burden. I'd be happy with Higgins.
I'm also I'm shocked Nicky Mawari's here with his athletic ability.
Yeah.
Would you want a safety?
Campbell that they were coughing up the pick, so they were been that
free safety.
Yeah,
That's what worries me about him. I don't think he's a free.
If there's a guy that's going to be a good free safety, that role I think is very useful, especially we've been missing that for years. And I know it's a little bit of a different defense, but I mean Kevin Byard for Mike Vrabel was a huge piece. You can get a guy in the back like that. I think it'd be big for this team.
Last pick.
32nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, tackle, Ohio State.
There you go. Josh Simmons from the Ohio State.
Yeah, that's good for them. That is a good pick for them.
Yeah. What's your initial grade on Will Campbell? First round for the Pats.
I'm going to give it a B+. I mean, I mocked him to the Patriots in my way too early 2025 mock draft after last year's. Obviously, that was before about the arm measurement, stuff like that. But, this is a guy that's been on my radar, and I think a lot of Patriots radars for a couple years or, at least a couple months and you could even say to a year. He's played at the highest level. He's been elite at it. The only question that came up in the draft process is it's the arm length. And, is he going to be a tackle? I give it a B+ because it's the biggest need. The offensive line was the biggest need. It was atrocious last year. And I really do believe worst case scenario, he slides into guard. He's an all pro level guard. And that's where, 5 years down the road, you'll say, is it worth it to draft an all pro guard at 4? I don't know. In this class, maybe it was. In most classes, it's probably not, but it addressed the biggest need. He's going to start at left tackle. He's super confident. He's a culture guy. We're going to love him right off the bat. And so I think he has the mentality to do it. He's obviously a Vrabel guy. So Joe Alt in that position would have been an A, right? That's the ideal 4th overall pick, left tackle. But there's not a Joe Alt in this class. That's not how this class was. There was a lot of guys, even Josh Simmons, who was a bigger guy, was like 33.5-inch arms. Joe Alt was like 34.5 plus. He just didn't have the length. And, that was kind of the name of this draft class. So B+ for me.
Light Shadows, thank you. Hopefully you don't have to go driving anywhere tomorrow, but we will.
Yeah, tell your wife to get her own ride. Don't volunteer to get her.
We will. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I B+ is the same grade in my mind. I probably would have gave it a B minus. But thinking about the situation, I give it a B+ as well, because who else are you going to pick there that is going to be a higher grade for me? Yeah. Just given who went before, given you're picking fourth because you had to win week 18.
We had big
I think B+ is a fair grade there. All the things you mentioned.
I think the only guys I would have considered in that spot other than Will Campbell was Tedero McMillan and potentially Mason Graham. But Mason Graham didn't make sense with the addition of Milton Williams.
Yeah.
So the only other guy, and I would actually be curious to know, would people have been more upset with Tedero McMillan or Will Campbell? Because those are both guys that I loved. But I don't know if they got prospect fatigue or if, the slow 40, well, it wasn't slow. The reported time was fast enough. The inability to separate, him being a tall receiver from Arizona gave him the Kill Harry vibes. I would have been interested to see what was more, or what was the least favorite selection out of those two guys. But like I said, those two really, they were the biggest needs, O-line and receiver. And I thought O-line was a little bit of a bigger need because, especially the left tackle spot with the addition of Stephon Diggs and stuff, left tackle is what you need. And I have him as my number one ranked overall offensive lineman, not offensive tackle, just because of some of the questions. But I think easily he could be the best offensive tackle. So
yeah. You hope. We'll see. You're picking him at 4. You hope he's the best left tackle.
Yeah. I just have a hard time thinking he's gonna, and there's ways for him to fail. I just have a hard time thinking with his mentality, his work ethic, the things that, he's the maturity already for not even a 22-year-old. I think it's gonna be really hard for him to be a very bad player in the NFL.
No, I don't think I don't see a world where Will Campbell is just a bad football player. I think he's going to be in the league for a decade. I just don't know where.
Yeah.
And how high level his play will be. You hope it's elite at left tackle.
Sure.
You hope at least it's good at left tackle. Worst case, you got to be elite at guard if you're taking a guy at 4 here. But let's focus on, hopefully he's the tackle. That's what they took him to play. He's played it his whole life. Left tackle of the future, young kid. Maybe he'll grow. Maybe maybe his arms will grow a little more in the next couple of years. He's still 21, so we'll see what happens. But I'm content. I'm okay. I'm happy. Yeah.
And the other thing about this, and I'm gonna say this and wrap it up because we're approaching 4 hours. We've been on here. Go get some sleep for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But this draft is not just about Will Campbell. This draft is about pick 38. This draft is about pick 69. This draft is about pick 77. This draft is about pick, 105, somewhere in that range. Like, they have 3 more picks inside the top 100. 3 tomorrow. Those are huge picks. And even the one that's right in the 4th round that's just outside of the top 100 is a huge pick. This draft is not all about Will Campbell, although it's going to be the main point because he's the 4th overall pick. They have to hit on a bunch of picks here. They have to hit on more than just, if you walk out of this class and say, okay, yeah, Will Campbell is an all-pro tackle or guard, but everyone else behind you, you drafted another bust receiver or whatever, it's going to be the same shit. It's going to be the same exact thing. And so they got to find a way to hit on those. The 3 picks tomorrow, I'm really excited to see the direction they go to, who they get, who's available, because in my opinion, I've said it earlier in this stream too, the strength of this draft is 15 through 50. And it could even be more. So there's going to be a lot of good guys throughout that round. Are they going to move up into the 2nd? We've always said, move back up into the 1st. They never do it. Well, now they have 2/3. Are they going to move up into the 3rd? Like, we'll see how aggressive they get tomorrow if there's still talent on the board towards the back half. But those 3 picks tomorrow are going to be just as important.
Quick question. I don't put you on the spot here. Where would you put Polk in the group of Burden, Higgins, Knoll?
You're talking if he was coming out this year, like if he was in this year's draft class.
Yeah, how you felt about him last year compared to these guys?
Let me pull my position. So I would have him. I would probably sandwich him between Jalen Royals and Jalen Knoll. I think that's a very good landing spot for him, in my opinion.
So you have Higgins and
I have Higgins and Royals. Oh yeah, Higgins. So I have Higgins and Burden ahead that are still available, and Royals. And then I would have Polk, and then I would have Jalen Knoll. Now, I really like Jalen Knoll. I think he's a little bit limited to the slot, which is not a bad thing, especially in the offense that Josh McDaniels wants to run. Great route runner, good
fit
speed.
for the system.
Good fit for the system, but as an overall receiver, I probably would have had him behind Royals. I like Royals. I just think the Patriots need a little bit of a bigger bodied guy too. You know, a 6'1" guy. Jalen Knoll, as good as he is athletically too, is not good after the catch, which was always shocking to me. So where is it? So he had 14 catches of 20 plus yards down the field, which was top 10, but he only had like 200 yards after the catch. Like for a smaller slot guy, that's super quick and explosive, just doesn't make guys miss. I don't know if it's the shorter or the smaller frame, but that was a little bit of a concern for me. The other one is he has small hands. Small hands are only a concern if you have drops. And honestly, I didn't see many for him unless they were like screens or other short routes. He doesn't drop the ball down the field, but there were a couple times where he turned his head a little too quick. He had 19 drops in 4 seasons. That's what I was trying to get to. So I would have probably put him and Polk in the same tier. I don't know who I would have drafted earlier, but I would have put him in the same tier. But I also think Polk went higher than what he should have last year. And that's not just because of the bad season he had. I thought it was a little bit of a stretch going into when we drafted him last year. You go back to my position rankings. Obviously, we passed out of Ladd McConkey. So
did you see that video?
Which one? Oh, yeah, the Chargers one. Yes.
They want to know what side of the ball we're picking. It was like,
I still would have taken A.D. Mitchell over him. I know he fell and he didn't have that good of a year, but I probably still would have taken A.D. Mitchell over him. You know, you look at this draft class, Roman Wilson hasn't really panned out yet. We got Javon Baker. Jalen McMillan had a really good year, but I had him ranked below Jalen Polk. So, but yeah, I will definitely be churning out Campbell videos. I'll probably do him, and depending on who they take with these next 3 picks, we'll see how much access to film I have and stuff. I'll probably try to get 3, potentially 4 for this draft class out. But Will Campbell will definitely be one of them with all the talk around him. And then depending on, you know, what other guys I think are exciting or what I want to break down. I wouldn't say they'll come within the next week. I'll probably take a little bit of a break, just, you know, between this and the other podcasts that I do and stuff. And then I got to acquire the film and do all that stuff. But I would say within the next month, I'll probably have a Will Campbell one out, and then hopefully a couple other ones too.
Yeah. People love the film breakdowns, as do I. Yeah, that's all I got.
Excited. We'll be
coming up on 4 hours. So
yeah. 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We'll be live again. Obviously, the Patriots will be right back on the clock. That was embarrassing. Or they'll be right back on the clock really quickly tomorrow, maybe even sooner. if
You've had a few of those tonight.
I have. Sometimes I get speaking so fast and my brain is a little mush. We've been recruiting all weekend too. So the last 4 days, I've been up at 5:30 every day because we've had to be at 6 a.m. practices in high schools to recruit. We hit about 8 schools a day. So I've been in about 40 plus schools the last couple days. So my brain's a little mush, but yeah, it'll be fun. So yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We'll be back on probably for the whole time again.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. All the regulars, Light Shadows, Edward, Boss GM. We appreciate the donation again. Thank you
Hat
for that.
Scout, get me that Uncrustables. Give me that Uncrustables one.
Absolutely. Yep. Get that Uncrustables sponsorship going. But yeah, that's all we got. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow night.
Thanks for listening to this edition of the Patriots Drive podcast. Follow us on social media to stay up to date with all things New England Patriots. Make sure you tune in to the next episode and check out patriotsdrive.com for more great content.
We're on to Cincinnati.